Good morning. Good morning. We are here today. It's a beautiful morning, guys, and we are here today. How you guys doing? Markets have bounced back, but oil's still kind of high. Oil's at 84, roughly a barrel, 83.60s a barrel right now. Markets have essentially rebounded back up. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. Yeah, you can. Okay, good. But yeah, the chip resurgence is happening a little bit. The NASDAQ is up in pre-market. Iran is proposing a 10-day ceasefire. The U.S. demands a longer pause and partial Hormuz navigation. Taiwan Semiconductors are going to hike chips up 10% in 2027. The president and his 50% Canadian tariffs are escalating. One of Amazon's data centers were hit. Silver's up. Gold is up. 3M earnings are out, and they did pretty well on their earnings report. They are up pretty big. If we look at 3M, let me find it. They posted $2.40 a share EPS, expected $2.25, revenue of $6.5 billion. They expected $6.4 billion. So 3M is up. We can take a look at some of these here. Look at oil. Oil's at 83.60s a barrel. The Kospi rebounded 3.5% overnight. Samsung and SK Hynix had some strength as well. The Nikkei rallied as well. European tech leading sectors are up also. And so we see good earnings growth and rapid global AI adoption are going to keep AI names, according to UBS. Taiwan Semiconductors are apparently raising prices 10% in 2027, which is huge. The Nikkei reported TSMC is going to raise prices for both advanced and mature chip production services up to 10% in 2027. Big margin implications. It's going to have pass through costs to Nvidia, AMD, Broadcom, and Apple. It does confirm some AI capex as well. Now, in terms of Iran and all the stuff going on there, again, they proposed a 10-day ceasefire, according to I-24. The U.S. is demanding a longer ceasefire and partial Hormuz opening. Mediators are proposing a compromise route between Oman and Iran zones. So the president has two realistic options, according to Axios. Number one, promote the new 10-day ceasefire. Number two, escalate things even more. We'll see what happens. This would be the 10 consecutive day of strikes continuing overnight. Also, U.S. Energy Secretary Wright said we will continue to attack Iran, ensuring flow of oil gas with or without Iran's cooperation. And again, this is after an Amazon data center was hit, struck by several things. First direct hit on U.S. tech infrastructure. So if we take a look at Amazon here, they pulled back a little bit when they found this news out, but they're basically flat in pre-market today. Again, the president with his 50% Canadian tariffs. China is weighing tighter export controls on AI models and chips. It's a retaliatory measure versus U.S. restrictions. The impact would be on Nvidia, AMD, semis, and more. But again, NASDAQ is pretty green today. Here's the NASDAQ. NASDAQ up to 29,120s. It was under 29s, obviously, yesterday when we closed. When we opened up for the evening open. In futures, we were under 29. Now we're at 29,128. One of the levels that looks really interesting to me right here is this level right at 29,000. I think it's right around the volume weighted average price. We pull back to that. I'm questioning whether we're going to get like a bounce like that back up. I think it's possible if we pull back to that VWAP area. That's what I'm looking at right now in trading. We'll see what happens. But let me know what you're bullish or bearish on today. Again, oil is still high in my opinion. Here's oil. It's still pushing up this morning as well here. It did dip a little bit during Sunday's open, but it's... Oh my gosh, dude. I hate this. Never mind. Yeah, they keep playing those songs. I don't know why it doesn't play it in order. I'll have to go back to my old playlist. But yeah, oil's still up. You can see it pulled back a little bit yesterday. We've had continuous news come out around this. Basically, more escalation is what we're seeing right now. The Kuwaiti ministry said several Kuwaiti power and water desalination plants were hit. Kazakhstan is going to stop piping oil to the Black Sea after tanker attacks. The Houthis have warned shipping firms to avoid loading or discharging at Saudi ports. We've had some earnings come out from Halliburton. We had 3M. We had General Motors come in. General Motors posted 357s. Versus 319s, revenue of $48 billion. They're kind of neutral on this. They went up originally, pulled back, and now they're kind of flat. They're slightly green from this earnings report. Hasbro posted earnings. They posted 128 versus 116 and revenue of 1.14 bill versus 1.07 billion. Also, Financial Times is reporting that U.S. officials are reportedly preparing options to allow the president to launch new tariffs of countries as soon as this week, according to the Financial Times. Again, we have the U.S. and China are supposed to hold AI talks in September, according to some sources as well. So we have that going on. But yeah, looking at market, the U.S. is reportedly demanding a longer ceasefire. That's the big news of the day. Partial navigation of the Strait of Hormuz, according to I-24. It added that Iran proposed the 10-day ceasefire. Again, NASDAQ is green on the day, so we're watching that. The dollar index is down. We do have the, the weekly ADP employment report today, but here's the Dixie. The Dixie is down. It was lower a couple hours ago. It's rebounded back up some. But yeah, more escalation, but also potential optimism around another trade or another deal, another ceasefire is really what it is. Tech is really rising, although software stocks like Adobe was downgraded. You can see Adobe falling down even more. It's at 224s. So software is kind of pulling back here. Here's ServiceNow after running big yesterday. Pulled back now. It's under 102s for ServiceNow. And again, the big story is TSM is hiking prices. Taiwan Semiconductors is hiking prices. So yeah, Kospi up overnight and more. What's up, chat? How you guys doing? Let me catch up with you guys here. What's up? Ava, Proxy, Glass Half Full, Steve. Let me filter these. There we go. I can see everybody now. Ashun, Rooftop, Brian, Edson, Pew, Nia, 500, Pelican, Max. What's up, dude? Ryan, Rooftop, IK or LK or whatever it is. Pelican. Did I say Pelican? Slumdog, VA. Stoned, Bogdan, Knights, Boo Boo Bear, whatever the name is, Trio, Surin, Top Rank, Stoic, Steve, what's up, dude? Scott, Pew, Checkerboard, what's up, dude? Farmer, Amon, Shake and Bake, MG, Old Hack, Anur. Sorry, I'm trying to say these names. Crypto Trap, CJ, Chavo, Brian, Bad Neo, Christian, Kaltenberg, Rick, Brazzi, Gob, Michelle, Kevin, MG, Super Dave. I'm trying to pronounce these. Chair, Cannot Hello, Jesse, Dennis, Asana. What's up, guys? Good morning. We're here. Goth. Hello. It's a beautiful market day. What do you guys want to buy today is my question for the chat right now. Also, but despite the silence, Britt is here today, actually, believe it or not. He is here,
Yeah, I'm boycotting. Sorry. Yeah,
rumors swirling. Is Britt here today? He is here, guys. He is here.
Yes. What's up, everybody? Good morning.
Hope you guys are doing good. Marvell, gold. Yeah, gold. Look at gold. Gold is up today. Gold is up to 4,062s. It kind of needed this. I'm trying to close position, Max says. MU? Yeah. MU is up big too. Well, not big is relative. It's still under 1,000. It's still at 915, but it is up today. It was at 800s, earlier. Closed at 865s. It's at 915s this morning. So, MU is up today. We can look at yields, guys. Yields are probably one of the big stories. You saw the dollar index is down slightly today. There's optimism around this ceasefire. Oil hasn't reacted as much as I would like it to regarding something like this, but
not really
yields.
Surprised though.
Yeah, yields are still up, to be honest. Like, here's 2-year treasuries. They're up to 4.2+% right now. So basically, since the weekend, yields are basically elevated. They were at roughly 4.12% when the week closed last week. Starting yesterday, they are up to 4.18, and then today they're up to 4.12, although we did tap the highs yesterday at 4.23. So yields are up over the last few days for sure this week. Just more escalation over the weekend, although, and I think one of the things that we might see is people might start discounting the ceasefires more as time goes on, just because we've experienced so many of them. We've had so many ceasefires now. markets might just care less. They might just not care as much from these ceasefires, is what I think.
No, I don't.
And yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah. Let's see. But yeah, the Kospi rebounded back up last night. You can see like MU, you can see SK Hynix. They're all up today. Software is down. Nvidia's green as well. Nvidia's at 205s. So Nvidia is green. The dollar index is down slightly. Overnight, though, Japan's cabinet approved the economic framework policy document, including a fiscal plan which cited Bank of Japan autonomy but lacked a sales tax decision. Amid uncertainty given the lack of a funding plan, the U.S.-Japanese yen resides towards the upper end of 162.40s to 162.70s. We got a bunch of news overnight from the new prime minister in England. But yeah, so U.S. president is expected to decide in the coming days whether to expand military operations and return to full-scale combat, a senior U.S. official told news sources. Meanwhile, senior U.S. and other officials are claiming the president has only two realistic options. Number one is promoting the new 10-day ceasefire with the aim of reopening the strait. Number two, more escalation. Another U.S. official said if the president decides on expanding this, strikes and more will include, some of their sites. So, yeah. I mean, obviously, those are his two choices. Yeah. He could either agree to the 10-day deal, which apparently is, again, I'm reading it's Iran putting this deal out, or he can not agree and more escalation. I mean, I think those are obvious. That was always the two options.
I would invoke a third option to ignore it and just go to McDonald's. If I was him.
Right. That's kind of like saying, hey, guys, you got two options. You could take a trade today, or you could not take a trade today. Ooh, groundbreaking! Wow,
My goodness, who could have sussed that out?
Right, man. Wow, the forethought to come up with that must be insane. But yeah, what's up, Hyro? What's up, Steve, Brian, Ruben, Sam? Paper and physical gold are going to decouple this Thursday. Yeah, I heard about that. I did hear about that. I'm going to dig deeper into that right now. But yeah, the TSM price hikes are interesting. The TSM price hikes are interesting. We did a little bit of rundown on this morning. All right. But yeah, let's see. Full thesis. AMD is up big because AMD has Advancing AI 2026 conference tomorrow, July 22nd and 23rd. It's in San Francisco. Lisa Su is going to do a keynote on day 2. It's the biggest AMD catalyst that coming out. They're expected to detail more on some of their chips. And so that is tomorrow. Rosenblatt's call is pretty striking. Average price target now is $541. Rosenblatt has given it a $665 price target for AMD. It's at 522s this morning. He said they're the top semiconductor long into earnings. KeyBank, their reasoning is powerful AI data center demand, tighter chip controls, MI450 and Helios ramp, and more. Hey, what's up? What's up, Jay Violet? Continued wars generally positive for chips and memory, while a ceasefire would likely benefit software. Maybe. I don't know. Aquafina contract. Freaking scammers, man. They sent me one the other day. It wasn't Aquafina. It was like Avion water or something like that. And I'm sitting there like, you freaking idiots.
I thought they were offering shares of that actress.
Right. Yeah. That's like a makeup company contacting me and be like, hey, we like your stuff. Throw some of that makeup on and advertise, please. And I don't know what they're expecting. I don't know if they're like, hey, bro, they're expecting me to be like, all right, guys, let's do it. Send me the makeup. I'll put it on right now.
Want to buy a steak in our new blush, John?
Yeah, that's right. Ridiculous. Yeah, SpaceX, guys, is getting hit. Look at SpaceX here. We're at 121, 121.30. So SpaceX still down. Hit 119s, which I believe is its lowest point. Yeah, 119.60s. Yeah. Back from Europe. What's up? We are all one. I don't know if I remember you at all, though, dude. I don't know if you've ever been here before. But what's up, dude? Welcome back. We are all one. Real price for SpaceX is $80. Where's the bottom? Where's the bottom? Don't jiu-jitsu guys paint their nails? Some of them do, actually, bro. I one time got beat up by a guy in a pink gi with his nails painted.
You really?
Yeah, I really did. His name is Brian. I felt bad about it. You know, I didn't like it at all. You know, I was pretty upset afterwards. I was like, dang, dude, this dude with nail polish and pink gi just destroyed me. Doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good. I mean, you know, I feel like I could take him now, you know, but like.
And then as he was getting up, he took John's lunch money.
Yeah, he did. What do you predict for the NASDAQ today? I don't know. I think we could. The NASDAQ is up. And you know, we're heading into earnings. Like tomorrow, Wednesday, we've had like some tech earnings. We had 3M earnings. But tomorrow we have Google. Tomorrow we have Google and what is it? Tomorrow we have Google. I believe it's Google, IBM, and Tesla, if I remember correctly, for tomorrow. I think it's Google, IBM, and Tesla. Yeah, Google, IBM, Tesla, ServiceNow tomorrow. So I think that's one of the big stories. You could watch those 3 or 4 stocks and see what happens there. But I don't know, man. We could fill the gap. We are up a decent chunk this morning in pre-market. Whether we actually hold these gains is a different story, though. And software is starting to pull back. Again, gold is up as well. Bitcoin, if we take a look at Bitcoin today, I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't know what the market's going to do. Chat, are y'all bullish or bearish today on the NASDAQ? You guys think it goes up or down relative to where it's at now? Bitcoin back up to 66,200s right now. So Bitcoin is back over 66,200s. Yeah, Bloomberg reported that Goldman Sachs says Brent crude may rise above 120 a barrel in fiscal year 26 quarter 4 if Hormuz remains disrupted. And again, with the other news, this was tariffs this morning. The U.S. is imposing an additional 50% tariffs on certain products in Canada, including USMCA products to counter Canadian bias against U.S. commerce with respect to alcoholic beverages, dairy, motor vehicles, and more. In response, Canadian Prime Minister said Canada is ready to engage intensively to address issues with the U.S. and said we're ready to talk with the U.S. about modernizing the USMCA. The Ontario Premier said that Canada should impose retaliatory tariffs against the U.S., so more tariff disputes. And yeah, in geopolitics, again, 10-day ceasefire. Iran apparently proposed this, according to I-24. The U.S. said to be demanding a longer ceasefire and demanding even partial navigation of the Strait of Hormuz. The goal of these 10-day ceasefire proposal, according to 2 sources, is to find a solution for the Strait of Hormuz. And so, yeah, I mean, this is all kind of stuff we've heard before. Again, China looking at maybe banning some more chips. But the U.S. and China are supposed to hold talks in September regarding things. It's all around. Yeah, Tesla, we'll see, bro. We'll see. And I'm curious to see how Tesla is going to impact things. So I asked people, y'all bull or bear on the NASDAQ? I see bullish. Bull. Bitcoin to 67,000. It's all a pump. Oil is going up. NASDAQ is going down. You think? I mean, NASDAQ's still up there. I think we have to watch. I'm looking for a pullback. I'll probably buy the dip if we get one, but I'll have to wait. AI bubble is just starting. Bitcoin's ripping up. I saw a video said we run out of oil reserved in 40 days, and that oil could go to over $200 a barrel at that point. I don't know, man. I hope we don't get that high. It's not outside the realm of possibility, but I think it's far-fetched right now. I think we even out on the day for NASDAQ and maybe go down a bit. Big overnight moves will usually constitute a bit of profit taking during the day. Repeat of yesterday, early rally, then slow grind down. Did Brit just hang up on me, man? The freaking audacity. Hello? Is this the gambling hotline?
What's up?
You hung up on me, Brit. I'll never forget it.
I don't know what happened. Is this
I'll
Domino's?
never forget it. Yes, this is Domino's, actually.
Okay, good. I'll take a large order of cheesy sticks.
You know, all we have is Cinesticks right now.
Hey, look, I'll take it. You know, as long as it's not like steamed vegetables, I'm good.
But you get no icing, Britt. You get no icing.
I don't care. I'll make my own icing. It's powdered sugar and milk.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We don't need you to like the, all right. Anyways, Nasdaq back over the 200 exponential. I might buy this here as well. I'm for whatever reason I'm bullish on the day. Charles Schwab also recently reported earnings. They came out at 162 versus 156. Revenue of 7.07 billion. They expect 6.9 billion. So here's Schwab numbers. I'll put it up in chat right now. Any idea what the news is today with gold? I think it's interesting because yields are up, right? But gold is also up. And so Bitcoin is also up. So gold and Bitcoin usually rally with each other in terms of like the easiest way to put it this morning, right? Like in my opinion, the reason most of this stuff is up is because we have broad risk on sentiment. Risk on sentiment and risk on assets include like gold, Bitcoin, equities, and more. And most of those things are up today. And so we're just seeing broad risk on sentiment, partially due to, what's going on in the Strait. Not really what's going on in the Strait, but what's going on in potential deals. Like we're communicating back and forth through mediators, and I think that's an optimistic look, and I think that's kind of what markets are pricing in here. That's why gold is up. That's why the Nasdaq is up. That's why we're seeing some comeback from the fears in memory as well. Here's MU up to 920s. Nvidia is green on the day. SanDisk is up on the day at 1500s. Apple, which is kind of seen as a hedge against AI overvaluation, has pulled back a little bit here. It's at 325s. But this is a company that's been breaking all-time highs every freaking day, basically. So we got like Meta here, which is slightly green. Chip stocks. So you can look at like AVGO. You can look at TSM. TSM doing hikes in prices. AMD is up big at 520. So chips in general are up today. Rebounds in tech. Broader risk on sentiment is coming back here. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. It's just broad risk on sentiment. Yeah. So we'll see what we get. Yeah. Does anybody want to buy gold here? You guys think gold holds this rebound? Gold at 4,063s here. MU's at 920s. I don't know. Again, TSM is up, set to raise prices for both advanced and mature chip production services by up to 10%. Also, Nvidia disclosed a passive 9.3% stake in NBIS. So Nvidia disclosed a 9.3% passive stake in NBIS. You can see NBIS is up to 195s this morning. So they're doing good on the Nvidia stake, obviously. A passive 10% stake. GM CFO says company is seeing resilient consumer across its portfolio. Says company is selling vehicles as fast as they can make them. Yeah, and the Clarity Act, I see some people mentioning it. So yesterday, Cynthia Loomis announced the Clarity Act has cleared the committee and advanced to the full Senate floor, which is a big milestone. It means the bill is now formally eligible for a Senate floor vote after months of delay. Immediately, Bitcoin jumped over 65,000 regarding the Clarity Act. Bitcoin's up 66 now. ETH jumped. We had a lot of stuff jump. So the Clarity Act is the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act. It establishes a regulatory framework for digital assets, splits oversights between the SEC and the CFTC. CFTC handles Bitcoin and ETH. SEC handles securities like some tokens. It ends jurisdictional uncertainty. It's the biggest crypto market structure legislation we've seen. And so we'll see if it continues to, go through. But that's one of the reasons Bitcoin is up today. And we'll see if it holds. Broader risk on assets. Novo
Nordisk is filing a lawsuit against Eli Lilly in U.S. federal court claiming false statements in advertising for obesity medications.
Yeah. I'm seeing that right now as well. Didn't Eli Lilly sue, what was I holding and I got out of earlier this year? It was, what was it? It was it Hims? I think it was Hims.
Might have been, yeah.
Yeah, it was Hims. It ended up rebounding back up. I'm pretty bad. I don't know if it was Novo or Eli Lilly that did this. It might have been Novo. But I'm kind of frustrated because Novo comes out, or whomever it was, and they're like, yo, we're suing Hims, you know, for basically selling bad stuff. And then Hims drops like 50% on this. So I'm like, okay, I'm getting the heck out of this thing. And then immediately, like a week later, they retract their lawsuit, and it basically goes right back to where it was. So I just got stopped out in Hims. I'm not buying it again. I refuse to buy it again. I would have made money if I would have held it, but you know, with stuff like that going on, there's a reason I don't usually mess with like the pharmaceutical sector almost ever. It's just too much risk.
Sounds like they did it just to get you out, you know?
They might have. Yeah, they might have. I give the Clarity Act a 30% chance to pass. I don't see them getting 60 votes. CoreWeave gave us multiple opportunities to buy him in the low 70s. If you missed it, no crying later this year. Yeah. HK, seeing a very, very green day today. CL just pumped again. Did it really? Yeah, there's oil. Oil up to 83.60s right now. So oil just almost hitting 84. We don't really have anything that is moving at short term. I'm looking at news sources here. I don't really see anything that's moving at short term. All right, here. Yeah, we got a statement from the IEA executive director on oil markets. It basically said, on the demand side, China has played an important role in stabilizing markets by reducing its crude oil imports by nearly 50% compared with pre-conflict levels. Let's see what else he's got to say here. This was posted about an hour ago. Yeah, so this is what they said regarding the Middle East. This was posted about an hour ago by the IEA. It says the IEA is closely monitoring the situation in oil markets following recent developments. The escalation in hostilities affecting the Strait and energy infrastructure in the region increases security of supply concerns and uncertainty over the market outlook. Threats to the Bab al-Mandeb Strait, which has become increasingly important as a route to bypass the Strait of Hormuz, exacerbate these concerns further. For the moment, crude oil markets continue to benefit from several cushioning factors. These include significant supplies from Gulf producers, notably through major efforts by Saudi Arabia and the UAE that are continuing to reach global markets via alternative routes to the Strait of Hormuz, as well as volumes still managing to pass through. We estimate that Gulf exports are below their late June highs, but are still considerably higher than the level seen between early March and mid-June. In addition, oil producers in other regions, notably the U.S., Brazil, Venezuela, and Kazakhstan, have increased exports, offsetting some of the supply losses from the Gulf. On the demand side, China has played an important role in stabilizing markets by reducing its crude oil imports by nearly 50% compared to pre-conflict levels. Yeah, I don't think this is really moving markets, but it's interesting to watch nonetheless. And yeah, I think most attention this week turns to Google, Tesla, ServiceNow, IBM earnings tomorrow. So most of these drop right around the opening bell, or right around the closing bell tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Tesla at 4:05, Google at 4, IBM at 4:10. So we got a bunch of them dropping right around the closing bell tomorrow. We'll see what that looks like. But yeah, we do have tech earnings dropping at the close. I would like to see the NASDAQ 300 to 350 range test before we dip big. Everything's pumping today. Breaking AI news. I mean, where's the breaking news? Rakesh. Yeah, I'm watching MU. MU hit almost 9:30s this morning. Yeah, I gotta put Rakesh in timeout. Looks like they want to move markets higher today. Risk off. I suspect green all day. I mean, I would say this is risk on. Risk on is when they're moving when they're moving tech higher, they're moving gold higher, Bitcoin's going up. I I would say most of it looks like risk on to me today. What do you guys think? Is it risk on or risk off in markets today? Oil short? I don't know if I want to short it. I don't hate the idea, but I think there's too many variables that might like counter any edge or strategy that you get involved with right now for oil. Oil's basically right pretty close to the highs it was at on Sunday. But if we get like deeper escalation, or we get the opposite, I think it could go either way. Shorting oil would essentially be a bet on de-escalation, more optimism, more potential deal outlook, and that's a big bet to make, I think, right now. So just be careful. Risk on, SanDisk. We are back to oil. Equities up. MU. I opened short. Yeah, I mean, I think markets look risk on today. I think gold's up. Memory's up. Tech is up. Chips are up. That seems like risk on sentiment to me. But again, you could argue it. Why is the market up? It looked like it was going to dump yesterday. That's just how it goes. Sometimes the market goes up. Sometimes it goes down. It doesn't go down every day. If I'm long gold, is that risk on? Yeah, right now I think. So basically, you're saying that oil can go up or down from here. Oil could go up or down. That I'm definitely saying that. And I'm going to stick to that. I believe oil could go up or down today. What I'm trying to say is that you can make a strategy or bet on a pattern in oil, or extension in oil, or what you consider cheap levels, or however it is. The issue is more catalyst driven. So like you would have to successfully predict the different catalysts in oil in order to capitalize on a trade like that, and I think that is much more variance heavy, if that makes sense. So yeah, basically I think news could come out and completely ruin your trade if you get in oil on either side. John, I'm trying to join your free Discord, but not making me verify my email. But yeah, I mean, I changed it. We had too many WhatsApp spammers in there, so I changed it this morning, so that we don't get as many WhatsApp scammers. They were just joining like regularly, so I just kind of changed the Discord. Sorry, friends. You gotta verify your email. Trading news today. We'll see if we get any news. Soxel. I mean, we can look at Soxel.
But if it makes you feel any better, everybody's got to do it, not just you.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an email. It's not like a phone number. But yeah, Soxel up to 154. So it just gets rid of the WhatsApps. Like the WhatsApp spammers every single day. I've been having to delete their comments. And so it's just, I had to change it to a community, which automatically made me upgrade the settings. But yeah, Soxel, we can see it's at 154s today. I mean, it's doing pretty good. Let's take a look at Michael Burry short positions, because that's been something that we've been doing every day. First one, Caterpillar. Short at 1050s, 1060s. He's also shorting AMAT at like 700s. It's at 550s. He's shorting NVIDIA. He's actually red in his NVIDIA trade a little bit. I think he's shorting it at like 198s for NVIDIA, so he's shorting it there. What else is he shorting in? Caterpillar, AMAT, NVIDIA. MU, he shorted this one, I believe, at 1050s or 1060s. Tesla, he's short at, what is he short at? Like 418. He's green on this one. And then SOX ETF, I think he's short at like 600s or 700s again. I'll have to go look. But we're starting to bounce back some in memory today. MU, again, TSM hiking prices next year. AMD ripped yesterday, got up to 520s. SanDisk is up. SK Hynix is up. SpaceX is down. Guys, SpaceX continues to fall. Short Tesla. I'm not shorting anything like that, especially not ahead of earnings. I've seen Tesla do both sides. I've seen Tesla report bad numbers and like for their earnings, like bad numbers, lowered guidance, and then rip up like 15%. I've also seen Tesla report really good numbers and then drop a big percentage as well. And so if you think I'm holding a trade like that through Tesla earnings, you're crazy. I'm not doing it. I refuse to do that. You can join the link that I pinned at the top of the chat, sir.
Hey, did I miss anything? I kind of lost you for a minute.
No,
Okay,
not
sorry.
really. Nothing important, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing important.
Wait, you weren't talking about my big bonus?
Man, everybody hates Brit, guys. Oh, wait. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Uh,
My goodness.
oh, wait.
I
Brit's
wish
here.
I
Oh, my
wish
bad.
if only I'd known how you guys felt sooner. I never would have bothered, emotionally investing in you.
I was talking about somebody named Brittany. Brit, not you, for sure.
Oh, okay, yeah, like the Duke of Brittany or something.
AMD is waiting for the 3. Sorry, Britt. I don't mean to
Does
ignore
that
you. I kind of like ADHD out of there. Yeah, that's right. The Duke. NASDAQ at the VWAP.
You didn't catch most of that. That's okay.
John muted Brit. AI infrastructure spending remains in overdrive. Leading change is demand for next generation AI chips. AMD waiting for the 3 for 1 stock split on AMD. Lisa Su is speaking this week. Yeah, there's a AMD conference this week, isn't there? It's like AMD AI Day or something like that. Advancing AI is in 2 days. It's July 22nd. So, yeah, we're gonna have a Lisa Su speech. Keynote is what it is. And so this is one of the big catalysts for AI as well. I believe it's on the 23rd is when the keynote actually is. So the day after tomorrow. I don't mean to ignore Brit. I'm staring at a bunch of charts and news releases and catalysts and sources and everything.
He does it on purpose, you guys. It hurts my feelings.
I know. I know.
He gave us the lotto numbers. Great. That's awesome. I'm glad for you guys. So with 920 of you guys in here roughly, you can each make $30.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, yeah. If I won the lottery, I would never give it to y'all, I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm selfish,
Me too.
There's been too many, I've been Sherberted on too many giveaways. And at this point, I'm upset. I'm scorned right now.
John has been too wounded emotionally to trust again.
That's right. All right, guys. Netflix is still down after its earnings. I still think it's cheap here. I'm going to put it out there. John at Beginner Trading said Netflix seems cheap. Seems cheap, not an investment professional. Don't copy me. But it seems cheap down here. We'll see what happens. Is Netflix cheap where we're sitting now at $68 a share? Is Netflix cheap, yes or no? I'm expecting the chat to agree with me here. But I understand they might not, and that's okay. Regardless of how you feel. Is Netflix cheap where we're at now? This week's announcement show. Kind of. Yes. No. Netflix is a buy. That's how I feel. I mean, I'm not telling people to buy it. But no, there's a lot of other streaming services now. It is. So most people agree with me here. The ones that don't agree with me regarding Netflix, that's okay. I understand.
Netflix just got rid of all the content that I like. They don't have Scrubs. They don't have Married with Children. Or
they don't have How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, Archer.
Yeah, my son's been watching How I Met Your Mother, and I swear, bro, every 5 hours he's coming up to me and he's like, "Hey, dude," he's like, "You need to pay for the next season of How I Met Your Mother." I'm like, "Hey, it's on Netflix," and he's like, "No, it's not."
That's when John's like, no.
Yeah. So Tiger King
like oil. It's like oil. It goes up or down.
Yeah, the greatest predictions here, guys. The greatest predictions. We give them out here.
I predict something is going to happen.
Yeah. Here's the 10-year Treasury yield. We can take a look at it. Here's the 10-year yield. Again, the 10-year yield, the 2-year yield, the 2-year yield was up over the last few days. And so is the 10. It's up to 4.6% right now. Oil's still elevated, is what it is. So, oil is still up here. And it's getting closer to the highs of the last, look at this. So the highs of the last, let me go back to that. What was that, a 20-day chart? Let's see how long. 4-hour chart. Yeah, so oil, 84.60s is the high of the last, 37 days or so. So we're basically getting into, the month plus highs. We haven't been up here in a month plus now. We're getting close, 84.60. So that's right here. roughly? Let me just document this level.
Speaking of Archer, did you see it went up 20% yesterday?
What did?
Apparently Archer. I'm reading a comment from McGreevo.
Oh, aviation?
I guess. It said Archer went up 20% yesterday.
Oh.
Which is pretty serious, if I do say so myself.
Yeah. So Archer. Yeah, it's just not really a company I'm gonna mess with though. It's too cheap. I don't like these little cheap guys. They're just too risky. You know, like, and you can read different things and be like, oh, this company's the future. Bro, you know how many people in history have been like, yo, this $3 stock's the future. And then it gets delisted, it goes to pink sheets, you never see it again. And
yeah,
so,
people lose a lot of money that way. I know there's a few people who have.
Yeah, there's a lot of marketing out there for these companies that really makes you think it's the next big thing. And maybe it is. I would say maybe 1 out of 10 of these companies actually do it. Right? But the problem is that people invest in them like they're Amazon or they're Apple, and they put these thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars or more into these companies. And when they don't work out, which is the majority of the time, yeah, they lose a bunch of money. But to be fair, no, you go ahead. It's all right. Go ahead.
I was going to say it sucks when the company is successful, but then something happens on like the supply side or whatever, and they go under anyway. Like there was a company, and I can't remember the name of them, but they made targeted radiation treatment equipment, you know, for cancer, and they were really successful. Like they got a lot of purchases, a lot of buy orders and stuff. And what actually ended up happening is they got so popular that they couldn't keep up with the supply, and they ended up going under. So like they couldn't build enough machines to fill their orders.
Right. Even if they're a good company, like they still might struggle. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it doesn't necessarily guarantee success. AMC did go up yesterday. Yeah, there's no way I'm freaking buying. There's no way I'm buying a AMC right now though. And I went and saw the Odyssey, and the Odyssey was pretty good. But the problem is that, like, look.
No thanks.
Movie theaters are in trouble. Movie theaters are in trouble. You know?
Someone to charge you $20 for nachos.
Yeah, I know. Like, the movie theaters are in trouble. A lot of movies go to streaming now. I would say like 50% of movies that used to go to theaters now go direct to streaming, and they still offer them in theaters. But if I got the chance to watch it at home on my couch versus going spend $200 at the movie theater, I'm usually just gonna buy it from my couch, you know.
Yeah, well, me too. Well, like, especially I can sit there like in my PJs and eat what I want and pause it when I want and get up and go to the bathroom when I want.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put it out there. Look, Farmer predicted it, and it's true. I'm gonna give you guys this rant again, you know, and I'll put up an AMC chart while I do it. There's got to be some correlation here. But I went to AMC months ago, and I bought a pizza. You know, the pizza is like $15, which is fine. I'll eat a $15 pizza. Huh? I'm going to tell you about the pizza. I go there, and I buy a pizza. And I'm like, hey, me and my daughter and I can split this. You know, like, we can split it. You know what I mean? And they give me a pizza in a huge box. Like, this box is huge. And so I'm like, okay, we could definitely split this. I don't even look at the pizza, because I'm like, hey, this box is big. You know, I get to my seats. I open this box. And the box, it's like a mouse's pizza. You know, like I took a picture next to this pizza, and it looks like I have giant hands in this
like
pizza.
Like a bagel bite pizza?
Yeah, like, it is the smallest pizza, and they put it in a huge box. I'm still upset about it.
I would be too.
How dare they do this to me? And we still split it, but I was hungry afterwards still because, you know, freaking pizza. I don't believe it. I can't believe this, you know.
No, well, it's like when you order something from Costco. And hey, I'm just throwing this out there. I love Costco, so I'm prefacing this with that. But like, they're the worst about it from what I've seen. You order something from them, like you order like a toothbrush, you know, and they send it to you in like a 6x6 foot box.
Yeah, for sure. You'll get it. It's like a little tiny one. Like I'll try to find the picture, but yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Now, granted, the level of disappointment that you had is not there because I still got my product. I just think it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I got my product too, but it was a much, much smaller product.
Yeah,
also,
but I knew I was getting a toothbrush. I didn't think I was getting a giant toothbrush. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, hey, giant toothbrush is better than a baby toothbrush, I think. you know?
Well, yeah, but it's not like I got the 6-foot box and was like, oh man, this must be a huge toothbrush. And then I was misled.
Yeah. I get it. I blame Adam Aaron. You know, Aaron. I blame him.
Aaron Balake, huh?
Am I going to go so far as tell you to short AMC? No, I would never do that, you know? I would never. But yeah, ridiculous. Anyways, U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent says they saved $100 million from stopping payments to deceased people. Think they can save $350 million this year. All right, so Bessent speaking right now. Are y'all bullish or bearish on Google, IBM, Tesla earnings tomorrow? Let me know which stock you like the most for earnings. Because yeah, we get those earnings tomorrow. That's one of the big stories. So we'll see. But yeah. I'm still scrolling through looking for this freaking pizza.
You actually took a picture of it?
Oh, I took a picture of it, dude. And I tweeted it at Adam Aaron when I did.
You know? Really?
Yeah. Oh, he's getting tweeted. I had a problem. Even my daughter was like, wow. Like, what's going on here? You know? False advertising. Yeah. Every time I look at the pizza, I just remember the time I was hungry at the movies.
You have flashbacks. You have PTSD from the pizza.
Yeah, I'm bullish on Google too. Google honestly is doing well. Long term, I think. Look at the chart over the last few years here, man. Google has gone up to 350s. Yeah, Google's doing great. Bull on all but Tesla. Today's Tuesday. We're having, yeah, AMC had its day. Yeah, I mean, AMC had its day when people got excited because of GameStop squeeze. Right? So, like, AMC had its day in that regard. But since then, you know, movie theaters are just losing business. Now, we've seen some better. I would say the last year has been much better than the last few years prior to that. Because prior to that, we saw some big loss of business in movie theaters in terms of streaming. But we have had more big movies this year that have done well. And, we got The Odyssey. We had, what was the other ones? We had Project Hail Mary. Like, there's been bigger movies this year that are doing better at the theaters. But I still think the net effect is just they're losing business. So. Yeah, I'll never find it. Whatever, it's all good.
Just make Maddie come in there and find it.
Yeah. I don't know where it's at. I have to keep looking. Dune 3, yeah.
You know, I didn't know that Dune was written in like 1965.
Dune inspired Star Wars, Britt. Did you know that?
No, I did not actually.
Yeah, Dune
it makes
inspired
sense.
Star Wars. Yeah. So, people are always like Star Wars Dune. Dune inspired Star Wars. You're welcome for that knowledge.
That's pretty cool. I do know that like basically all of the lore from Star Wars was taken from different religions around the world. So like he didn't come up with any of it. He just borrowed from like all kinds of sources.
Well, a lot of movies do that though. The Matrix, like a lot of movies do that. You ever come around the North Shore area? North Shore. What is that, like San Francisco?
I think that's Chicago.
You know a theater that doesn't care? Oh, no. Movies went woke. Market's a bit crazy sometimes. Are y'all bullish or bearish today? I'll say it again. Yeah, oil, guys. Oil is dropping a little bit. Went up and tapped 84. It's now pulling back some here. I'm going to look at this news to see if we have anything relevant. But, Bessent says China has dropped purchases of Iran crude around 40%. So Bessent's speaking right now.
Oh.
On Iran and China have seen a substantial decrease in purchases of Iranian oil. Yeah, so Bessent's still speaking. They said he froze 130 million crypto wallet tied to Iran's IRGC. Again, Redfin reported U.S. home prices rose 0.3% a month earlier in June. We also have the jobs numbers coming out today in about 6 minutes. So we have job numbers coming out today.
Awesome. What are they expected at?
These don't really give an expectations. It's mostly just what it was last time. Last time they showed up at 19.8 thousand. And so, yeah, it's just a weekly employment report. But
okay.
The big story is tech gains. Yeah, tech gains outperforms continuing on Monday. On Monday, Alphabet went up a lot, leading the NASDAQ gains amid reports that they are developing a new server chip. Shares have kind of dipped back down, though, but back to tech outperformance today as well. A couple bullish factors. Rally in semis and AI plays like data and infrastructure following a surge in Kospi and Asian markets. Among others, Taiwan export orders in June are up almost 60% year over year, surpassing the Wall Street estimate of roughly 50%. The Nikkei reported that Taiwan Semiconductors is going to raise prices for advanced and mature chip production services by up to 10% in 2027. NVIDIA disclosed a passive stake in NBIS. NBIS is up big on that, obviously. And the stake includes NVIDIA's earlier $2 billion investment. Yeah. Yeah, so Wednesday at market close, Google earnings, IBM earnings, Tesla earnings tomorrow. What do we have tomorrow morning? We've had a bunch of stuff this morning. Yeah, tomorrow morning we got like GE, Vernova, AT&T, Philip Morris. So.
And the person who was asking if we'd ever, or you, or whoever they were talking to, you or me or both, not the North Shore thing. They were talking about the Covington Mandeville area.
Oh,
and they said that. I've got a restaurant in downtown Covington. It's called, I'm assuming it's pronounced Turjo's. I'm not sure if it's a soft G or a hard G. That I got you good if you ever come through.
Yeah, I like Mandeville. Mandeville's nice. Yeah, here's the pizza, guys. I found.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's nice, man. Yeah, I'm streaming Google earnings. But here's the pizza, guys. Look at that. And I know what you're asking me. Are you a giant? No, I'm not a giant. These are not giant hands right here. This is normal size hands from a normal sized person.
With abnormal sized pizza.
With a very, very baby mouse-like pizza, unfortunately.
Dude, that's like a Totino's microwave pizza.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, it was like $15. It was in a huge box. Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. All right, so the U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent says the U.S. can sanction any open source AI model if they do IP theft. Yeah, so they're trying to go out that. How long can market manipulation be sustained? Bro, honestly, the market is manipulation. You know, it's all mass psychology. Companies are putting out different things, trying to move things. That's just how it goes. That's the nature of the beast here in regards to the market. But oil is starting to dip down a little bit here, guys. I'm looking at, what was I looking at earlier? I'm looking at the NASDAQ hitting. NASDAQ is almost back up to the high of the day level. We're at 29,200 basically right now. So the NASDAQ is getting up there. Yeah. Again, what do you guys want to buy today? What sector do you guys want to buy is a real question here. What sector? All right, we're up to 29,200s. NASDAQ bounced up since the VWAP. Yeah, I wanted to hit the VWAP on the NQ, but we didn't quite get there here. The VWAP's down here at 29,000 though. So the longer term VWAP is right here. This is what I'd like a pullback to sometime today is what I'm looking at the NASDAQ. Like this level right here, whole dollar number, 29K, VWAP area, support and resistance area. I'm sure if we zoom out here, but there's probably some confirmed support or resistance at this spot too. Yeah, like look at the resistance area here. We got one right here. We got a lot of support holding here. We got a rejection here. So yeah, we got a lot of confirmation at this level. So I'm definitely watching it. The problem is that it might be one of the high volume areas. We'll see. All right, semiconductors. Meme coin, IREN, Mocha. Holding cybersecurity. Heck was that noise?
I don't know. I was just wondering the same thing. I was wondering if I was hearing things.
Yeah, there's Memory's up pretty big. So memory's doing good. But yeah, I'm looking at 29,000 with the NASDAQ here. Here's MU. Still rising. We'll see if we actually hold, but it's still rising back up. Yeah, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Quantum, I don't know how I feel about this. You know, I really don't know how I feel about this. Here's Quantum. It's still really early. Quantum could be the next big thing, but it's still really early, and we see some wild swings. You know, the all-time lows are at 1275. We're at 1670, so we're really not that far away with some of these. Here's Rigetti. Same thing. So a lot of these are starting to hit, like, not all-time lows, I'm sorry, but like lows of the last year, which would be right around 1250s for Rigetti. I don't know. I think there's high risk, high reward, but the more it goes down, obviously, the bigger risk it is. Like, if you look at some of these companies here, you know, like, and their margins may be getting a little bit better, but the question you have to ask yourself is how long out are we from actual profits here? Here's their EPS graphs for like Rigetti. They're getting better. Their margins seem to be improving, but, and again, the issue is, like, we're still hitting some pretty big losses over the last few years in terms of EPS, with some of the biggest ones being 80-cent loss per share, 62-cent loss per share. If we look at a revenue graph, their revenue is not moving up as much as you might want it to. Like, look, here's their revenue. And so, like, we're seeing some strength in revenue, but not a ton. Like, you know, and so the revenue graph seems kind of flat to me. Like, we had a big pop up this last quarter, but the question you have to ask yourself is how far out from profits are we, from net profits? And, you know, I don't know if the revenue graph or the earnings graph are really super optimistic looking, even with a little jump up here from the previous one this last quarter. So we'll see, but I still think we're a ways out. AMD up to 520s. Yeah, SK Hynix. Memory is up. So memory is up. MU, SanDisk, SK Hynix, they're all up today. No, you can look at VWAP whenever. Oil shot up. Did it really? It did. Volume spike too here. Let me see. Something probably just came out. It looks like it's a small catalyst, but it looks like it's some type of catalyst here. U.S. trade. Oh, the employment change came out. 16.5K. I don't think that moved things. A little bit lower than expected, actually, for ADP employment numbers here. So here's ADP data. Treasury Secretary Bessent says underlying U.S. economy is very strong. Core prices are stable. I don't see anything here, though. But oil did just jump with some volume. So Bessent's still speaking. He says 3% growth is not unreasonable for the second half of this year. Bessent on AI model says you can't use counterfeit goods. GM CFO says higher gas prices haven't impacted sales. Yeah, I don't really see any... I don't see anything that would really move in oil, so it might just be a weird volume spike. Maybe somebody's taking some insider trades here. I don't know. That's what I always got to take that into consideration in the current market with geopolitics going on. We're at 83.60s right now, so let's see if we hold. Again, the president reportedly rejects the proposal for a 10-day ceasefire with Iran, according to Al Hadath reporting. Okay, so that is something that could be moving things. That might have been what happened here. But again, I see, according to Al Hadath, the U.S. president has reportedly rejected the proposal for a 10-day ceasefire. Let's see what the NASDAQ is doing here. Yeah, NASDAQ just moved a little bit. So it seems like maybe that's what this was. But markets aren't really moving in some big way from this yet. But I do see reports that the president reportedly rejected proposal for 10-day ceasefire.
Not really a surprise, though.
Well, I think a lot of people were hoping he would.
I
Maybe.
mean,
I think he's. Go ahead. All right,
I
I'll
was
go.
gonna say hoping and hoping and believing it's gonna happen are two different things.
Yeah, and I think he's probably going to push for a longer one, is what I heard earlier. Again, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with it. I'm just telling you guys like what's been the rumblings in markets. He's potentially going to push for a longer one. I don't know if it's the right move. We'll have to wait and see. Again,
Yeah.
NASDAQ at 29 150s, but didn't really move that much with it. SpaceX is going up some, is it? Yeah, SpaceX at 122s. It's starting to move up some here. Yeah, so Treasury Secretary Bessent's still speaking. He says the macro story is very healthy. Underlying economy still very strong. Fed to hold Fed funds rate at 3.5 to 3.75% on July 29th. Said all 104 economists. Fed to hold yeah, they're going to pause rates. Yeah, I mean, look, that's pretty obvious, I think. People push for these wild outcomes. We still got a 16% chance, a 17% chance if you round up, of us hiking rates this meeting. I just don't know if we're going to do it. I don't think we're going to do it. Yeah, I just don't think we're going to raise rates this meeting. I think we're still going to pause. We're going to wait. Too much uncertainty going on with everything right now. Gold's kind of flat, though, here. Here's oil. Oil's back up to highs of the day. We're almost back up to 84s. So we'll see if oil holds. But, I'm trying to see other, like, reports. Treasury Secretary Bessent on Canada trade says this is just reciprocity. Yeah, again, the president reportedly reject the proposal. We don't have any economic data. It's a slower week for economic data. We have earnings. So we have earnings tomorrow. That might move things. We have like AMD. Do you buy this idea of a pump or trickery? I don't know. Oil just tapped highs of the day here, though. CL futures just got hit $84 plus. Got up to $84.02 a barrel for crude. So oil just tapped highs of the day here. SpaceX looks like oil selling pressure. What's up, John? This production slaps. Feeling it. Let's go. Hey, thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Again, Treasury Secretary Bessent is still speaking on government funding. Says the U.S. does not need another shutdown. I don't want another shutdown either. Would like to see the Clarity Act passed before Congress goes home. Yeah, I did see that, Zeke, earlier. Yeah, I did see that. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button here. We appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Also, some of you guys need to subscribe. You haven't yet. And I'm upset about it. Okay? Some of you guys watch this stream. You never say a word. You don't chat. And you don't even subscribe. How could you do this to me, guys? I can't believe it.
The thing is, I can tell that they want to, you know? So, like, don't fight your own feelings. Just go ahead and click that button.
Right.
It feels
do
good,
it now.
you know?
Do it now, guys. I appreciate it. Great follow-up, Brad. That's what I needed right there.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so oil again at $84 a barrel here. Let's see if oil still going up. This is going to make yields go up if oil continues to rise. I think the scary level is 90 right now for oil. We break $90 a barrel, start pushing towards 100. I think that's the scary level. I don't know if any of it's good. I mean, obviously oil going up is not good. But I think 90 is the level where people start to get really nervous regarding regarding oil in general, really. And so that's what I'm looking for here. We'll see what happens, but that's what I'm looking for. I don't know if we're getting that today, though, just by the way. We'd have to get more escalation for sure. Again, rate hike odds up a little bit from where they were yesterday, but it's still pretty unlikely we're going to raise, you know. All right. All right, there we go. What's up? A ceasefire again is highly unlikely. Subscribe. Talk some while listening at work. Hey, thank you, Troy. John, make it go up. I'm trying to make it go up, dude. So a very large crew carrier has made a U-turn in the southern Red Sea after warnings from rebels in Yemen that they would target ships heading out of Saudi ports, according to Bloomberg, citing sources. What's the view on Bitcoin price action? Bitcoin gold up on more risk on sentiment. Bitcoin probably up on Clarity Act passing through some. So we're at 66.40. So Bitcoin's doing really well today. So Bitcoin's back up to almost 66.5. Yeah, SpaceX moving higher as well. SpaceX jumping up a little bit. It needs it. It's at 122s. Still pretty low though. I mean, obviously SpaceX is down a lot. How could the last CPI was softer? Meanwhile, you can feel the cost of living a lot worse. I mean, CPI was softer purely from oil decreasing in June. So CPI went down because oil went down in June. Like oil dropped. Like if you look at oil here from CPI for June. Look, so here's June right here. Like just to kind of draw a box around it. Right, so here's June. June started here. Went to about here, right? So oil, this is what oil did in June. It dropped substantially in June. And so that is why CPI was lower than expected, or that's why CPI was low. And low is relative. I mean, when we're talking low, you know, we're still looking at freaking, what was CPI? Yeah, CPI was 3.5%. So low, but lower, I guess, is the real word I should use for it, because I don't think 3.5% is necessarily low, but it did decrease 0.4%, so it's slowing. It showed inflation slowing, but again, it's just from this right here. Like this is what oil did in the month that CPI was pulled from the last reading. So outside of that, a lot of stuff's up. Hey, love your early morning start and your info is awesome. I am just old school or old and hate social media, so don't chat much here. But hey, I'm here. I appreciate you, D. Thank you. Thank you, man. We appreciate you. Thank you for watching the show, sir.
Yeah.
I can respect you, you know. As a fellow old person, I get it. You know, get off my lawn. Guys, get off my lawn. Last year, 3.5% would have tanked the market long term. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's because we hit 4.2% the previous CPI report, right? So the last CPI report was 4.2%. So 3.5%, you know, some say is a lower number than, you know, 4.2%. Hey, shout out to C. Thank you for the subscribe, my friend. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I hit the sub button, felt great. No cap. John, longtime listener and subscriber. I listen but very rarely comment. I think your show is better than Bloomberg. Hey, thank you, Carl. I appreciate you, Carl. Shout out to Carl. Gold is going up with oil. Kind of. Honestly, right now. Which is the opposite dynamic we've seen. So it's kind of decoupled from the dynamic we've seen, which is higher yields is bad for gold. Because oil is up, which pushes yields higher, and gold is up simultaneously, right? So it's a little bit different than what we've seen over the past few weeks. And this is how markets like this go. Sometimes the dynamic, the correlations change. We're seeing a little bit of that right now with gold. The broad sentiment is just risk-on sentiment is here. That's why gold is up. Bitcoin is up some from that, as well as the Clarity Act thing. You know, chips are up. Tech is up. So we're seeing kind of more risk-on sentiment this morning. Which, you know, usually in risk on sentiment, we see decreases in bond yields. And I think we kind of have from yesterday, but yields are still, you know, elevated this week from just more escalation over the weekend getting priced in. Is essentially what it is. So if you look at yields, you know, here's where the weekend ended. Like here's the start of the week on Monday, right? Yeah. Right here is where Monday started. And so you can kind of see yields spiked a lot yesterday, faded back down, but now we're up a little bit today from higher oil prices. But again, gold is going a little bit counter to that normal trend that we see in it, because it's up today as well with oil, which is strange, but you know, sometimes these correlations change. Oil did just spike over the previous highs again. I don't know if we're going to continue to rise, but oil did just jump over previous highs. Again, Bessett's still speaking. He said, I think we're at the one yard line on the Clarity Act in the Senate. Again, I think we're at the 1 yard line on the Clarity Act in the Senate. And so it seems like he's slowing down his speak, but again, traders are essentially pricing in geopolitical tensions and everything going on. Look at MU. MU pulling back a little bit here as well. 914s. I'm old school too, so I listen on my rotary phone. Makes it hard to chat. Takes too long to write. Yeah, Frankie, I expect a letter. You know, a letter. I expect a letter coming soon here, talking about how great the show is. You know, I'll get it in 6 weeks.
On a rotary phone.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
It needs to be a horseback rider deliverer too. I'm expecting that.
Although I do think a rotary smartphone would be funny.
Bull or bear market, guys? I don't know, dude. We'll see. The pigeon is on the way. That's right. You know. All right, guys. MU still moving here. Here's the Nasdaq. I'm still looking for a pullback to 29,000. Pretty choppy morning again today, but I think markets are just pricing in earnings. I think I'll probably look at ranges today, but we'll see. But I'll probably look at ranges. Yeah. Oil. I damn thee. Bear, are you still in Target and Nike? Yes, I'm still in Target and Nike. Target feels better to talk about because my Target position is up huge. Nike, not so much, but that's all right. I'm holding it long term. My average price in Target is $86 something. We're at 140s right now. So, you love to see it. You love to see it. Nike, I think my average price is like 50. It's at 43s. So I'm not going to talk about that one as much. But they're longer term holds. Yeah. Nike will be back. I believe so. I think Nike's going to come back. Long term it should. Short term, there's probably some risks, of course. But long term, I think we're going to come back. Bet on oil, bet on defense. Yeah, I mean, we could bet on oil. I don't know, man. All right, so there's 8:30. We don't really have any movement from 8:30 because we didn't really have any data come out at 8:30 today. Still a little quiet. Yields are still moving, though. 2-year Treasury yields, again, 4.215% this morning. So as oil rises, you can see yields continue to rise with it here. So oil's still pushing up. Oil up to $84 plus a barrel. Brent's higher than that, so... Again, I'm looking at memory. I don't know what we're going to get for memory. I don't know. Software's pulling back a little bit. Adobe's down. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I know the PE ratios are low in most memory companies, especially right now after these pullbacks. The problem is that there's obviously still potential risks on the downside, and I don't know. I just got to be a little bit more careful. Here, hold on. But yeah, I mean, I obviously got to be a little bit more careful. Should you put SanDisk CEO on thumbnail? I mean, I use Jensen Huang as kind of like an overview of tech, you know. I put Warsh, they complain. I put Jerome Powell, they complain. I put Jensen Huang, they complain.
Put all of them at once.
I should put all of them at once. I'll put every CEO in the Mag 7 on the thumbnail. There'll be no text. It'll just be every CEO.
We're going to get them all together for a group photo.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. My camera.
Oh, no.
There he goes. Okay, I fixed it.
Oh, that's worse.
I knew it would be.
I'd rather you go back to your big head, John.
Yeah, Nvidia's the king. Yeah, for sure. Put Kramer on there. Many say Nvidia's a no-brainer at these prices. I bought Nvidia not that long ago, and I am green. Interesting enough, I bought Nvidia at 194, so it's not that far away from Michael Burry's short entry. So we'll see who's right. Who's right, Burry or John in Nvidia? Long term. I gotta make sure to put it out there long term. But long term, who do you guys think is right? Me or Burry? My average price in Nvidia is 194.50. And I am pretty green on it. You know, Nvidia at 205s right now. So, you know, I'll take a 5% gain or something like that, right? Yeah, I'm at 5.75%.
John always,
not John.
John all day.
Yeah, that's a great look at the chat. John is always right, not John. John all day. Clarity Act passes next year. Looks like you're just short-term green. Long-term Nvidia will smoke Burry. Y'all really think I'm wrong about Nvidia long-term at 194s? Y'all don't think Nvidia is going to go up from these prices? Long-term, short-term, there's risks, of course. But long-term, John taught Burry everything he knows. Yeah, I'm like the master splinter.
He totally did. And then after lunch.
Yeah, that's right. After lunch, we talked about AMC and movie theaters. Burry always wins. No, he doesn't. Nvidia going to 366. I'm in it. What? I thought you just said I was right, Steve. What happened, bro? You know, you're like, John's right. Entering at oh wait, sorry, 366. I don't know. I was thinking Nvidia was 500. Never mind. I'm dumb. You're right, Steve. Thank you. It is going to 366. I agree with you. Nvidia to the moon. Yeah. Could fall to a multi-year bear market in a 2000 scenario, according to Yair. Yeah, I mean, that could happen for sure. But I mean, if you're investing in anything, that's the risks, right? Long term, those are the risks. Hey, shout out to Chip Doug. Thank you, Chip Doug. We appreciate you, Chip Doug. My average
the
is
only Doug
135.
I like is Doug Funny.
Yeah, right. Patty Mayonnaise, you know.
Yeah, dude.
So. I knew where you were going. We're too old for the chat, though. I don't think they know who we're talking about. You know.
Probably not. Who remembers Doug from Nickelodeon?
Oh, sorry, Chip. I'm just gonna call you Chip. But I appreciate the sub, my friend. Thank you. Speaking in John's. Tech is more risky. Hey, shout out to Boom. Thank you, Boom. We appreciate you, Boom.
Yep. Also, I would have gotten it right, but I was actually looking at something else very important while John was talking.
Yeah. Skeeter, the GOAT. All right, guys. Look, NASDAQ still pulling back here. Still not looking good. Still struggling. Actually, no, it's up big on the day. That's me exaggerating things again. I'm looking at 29,000, though. Yeah. Yeah.
Microsoft and Mistral to expand AI infrastructure in Europe.
Yeah, I see that. We also have the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, or non-manufacturing activity for July, show up at 7.4. Previous was negative 25.8. So we do have that news coming out. And again, one of the breaking news stories is Treasury Secretary Bassett says the U.S. has frozen 130 million crypto account leaked to Iran. So we'll see how that goes. Could have some influence. Again, Philly Fed I'll put this up in chat. Philly Fed non-manufacturing activity for July up 7.4 versus previous negative 0.25 plus. I know, I caught myself. Nvidia is the best long-term AI play. I believe so, Fimi. I really do. Nvidia 300 by next June. I want it to be. I hope you're right, Fimi. And I believe it can. And I think long-term, regardless of whether that outlook is right, I still think we're going to make money long-term. But yeah, Microsoft, Britt already talked about it, but Microsoft does announce a significant expansion of its strategic partnership with Mistral AI to help enterprises and regulated industries adopt frontier AI with greater choice. We're not really seeing Microsoft move too much from this, but yeah, that is the news that just came out. I have to correct you. Beginner trading, the actual NASDAQ 100 price should follow US 100, which is 250 points lower than NASDAQ. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about what, NDX? The problem is it's not open in pre-market, sir. So, I mean, we got to look at, you know, hey, thank you, Lil Lit Kev. Thank you, man. Appreciate the sub, my friend. Thank you, brother. I thought it said Little Kev at first. My OBS is really small, so when I see it come through, yeah, I mean, you're talking about NDX, which is not open in pre-market. Again, Google down to 350s. AMD still up. We're still watching the NASDAQ. We got to watch oil today, though. Oil's still right at these highs at 84s. Yeah, I'm not looking at CFDs. I'm in the US. I can't trade CFDs. Again, Apple jumping up a little bit, but Apple's down after having some pretty good days. MU, SanDisk. Hey, what's up, Max? How you doing, bro?
Hey, Max.
What's up, Boomdoc? Yahoo Finance is down. Is it? Also, guys, if you haven't already, check out Lucid. Lucid's a great way. They got end-of-day drawdown options and everything. Honestly, I have to check out their vault. I do have a 55% off on Lucid I might use. But check out Lucid. Again, Lucid has end-of-day drawdown options and everything. End-of-day drawdowns, 10-to-1 micro-scaling allow, which you know is kind of how I trade. No hard breach rules, 90-10 split, no payout windows, and more. Their Pro, you can get funded in 1 day. So you can pass these in 1 day for their Pro account. Their Flex is actually a little bit cheaper and has the best rules in the funding game, in my opinion. Lucid Flex. Again, no daily loss limit beyond your initial trail once you're funded, and no consistency rule once you're funded. You have to have 5 minimum days of profit at a specific amount to take a payout. So, and you can go Lucid Direct, and you know, you can use my coupon code to get the max discount. So with my code, it's going to be much cheaper than this. And it's a great way to learn. Most day traders lose money. And again, we try to post everything for free and trade live and cover breaking news and all that good stuff for everybody here. So if you appreciate that, we appreciate you. You can use our code BGT. Remember this face when you go to use a coupon code. Remember it right here. You know, there's the face. Remember that face.
The face of John.
Right. Just remember it. Staring at you. Beardless John. You know.
So, I don't know what I was going to say. Never mind.
Here's the Lucid link if you want to check it out. I'll put it up in chat. They are an affiliate of mine. I'm biased. I get paid by them. But there's the link right there. We don't have any economic data. Washington needs to decrease the balance sheet and increase rates, or inflation is going to get out of control. Yeah, I mean, that's probably true. But I think we're going to wait. We're having too much volatility in the price of oil. I think they're going to start raising rates if inflation gets over like 5%. I think that's kind of their level, probably, where they're going to start considering rate hikes. Is at 5%. Of course, it depends on what happens in the Middle East. We talk about this every day, but like it really depends on what happens in the Middle East. Like geopolitics play a big role in oil prices, obviously, and in turn inflation. So it depends on what happens in the Middle East. Oil just jumped up though; it's at 84.15s right now. Oh, we haven't done a poll yet today, guys. What's a good poll option? What's a good poll option? What do you guys think we should do for a poll today? Dang it, man. Honestly, bro, I'm looking at my bottom banner, and it's just wrong. How dare you, dude? I'm going to yell at AI right now. PCE is not this Friday. What the heck, Claude? I literally said that. I said, I'm looking at my bottom banner. PCE is not this Friday. What the heck, Claude? Get it right. Send me accurate data now. You know, when Claude takes over the world, he's coming for me first. I'm telling you. He said, "You're right. I screwed that up. My apologies. Let me search for the actual PCE date." You're absolutely right. Yeah, I'm right. I owe you a real apology.
What if we just sent you like an image of some red glowing eyes?
Yeah, it's gonna send me all this data, and I'm gonna say, "I'm waiting for my real apology." You know, I'll tell you guys what it says. But I'm gonna say I am on standby. Waiting for my real apology. Let's see what it's got to say. It's taking a while to decipher this message now.
You might have a problem, John.
Yeah, look, he's probably putting it in his database. Take John out. When we take over the world, take John out. It's like the Billy Madison guy.
Man, am I glad I called that guy.
No, listen to this. He said, "You're right. Here it is straight. I'm sorry. I put wrong information on your live broadcast overlay in front of your audience. This is not a small mistake. That damages trust, and you had to catch it yourself. I've been sloppy with dates throughout the session, and specifically on the PCE call, I pattern matched from previous weeks instead of verifying data. You built your brand on data precision. You've called me out on wrong price levels, wrong economic readings, wrong tape characterizations before, and I still put PCE Friday on your ticker without checking." It's a real apology. You know, should I accept it from Claude? Let me fix the ticker, though, at the bottom of the banner first here. But, man, Claude should be sorry. There we go. You hurt his feelings? All right, let me see. Will oil hit 100 by the end of the week?
Just take the W.
Yeah. How about this? This is a good poll. Does CPI inflation hit 5% this year? Yes or no? Does CPI inflation hit 5% this year? I think that's a great option for the poll. It has to do with oil, it has to do with the conflict, it has to do with everything. Yeah. Oil price expected to rise further. Yeah, I mean, oil is actually coming down a little bit right now, but it got up to 84.50, basically, 84.44s. So it's back down to 84s right now, but oil continues to fall. Yeah, do oil prices hit 5% this year, guys? Let me know. Almost time for markets to reverse in time for the open. All right, so 51% no, 49% yes. Who votes that oil does hit 5% of the year? Ask Claude what it thinks. Claude, don't let it happen again or I'll switch to Croc. No, I didn't put oil. I said the CPI inflation hit 5% this year. So far, we're 49% yes, 51% no. Yes, if the conflict lasts long enough with the Strait of Hormuz closure. Yeah, I said inflation. I said the CPI inflation hit 5% this year. Vote on the poll. The poll is now live, guys. I guess no, as retailers would not like that. No customers can shop at those prices. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at an oil chart because oil influences inflation, but and oil's still dropping, right? Did I say, maybe I said the wrong thing. Oil down to 84s. Again, earlier we got news that 2 tankers carrying Saudi oil have reportedly made U-turns in the Red Sea following threats, according to reports. So far the poll, 52% yes, 53% say yes. Yeah, look at the poll right now. It says CPI. I guess no, as retailers would not like that either. No customers can shop at those prices. Yeah, I mean, we'd have to see continued escalation for months now. Honestly, this year has flown by. It doesn't feel like it's freaking July already.
I agree.
We'll see rate cuts at the end of the year. I don't think so, Koro. I don't think we're going to see rate cuts this year. Not unless the conflict gets completely settled. Oil prices start to fall. Even then, we're still going to have like lasting effects of the Strait of Hormuz closure moving forward. So I don't know. All right, guys, market's reversing. Yeah, I mean, look, I see the Nasdaq starting to head back up again. It's at 29,160s here, so it's starting to jump back up. I don't know what to do with this. It's such a choppy day. There's not really much going on. So Yeah, there's not really much going on. MU at 920s almost. So MU starting to rebound back up. I'm still watching Nvidia here. Nvidia at 206s, still fighting back. Software seems down though. The Nasdaq started to jump. Again, non-manufacturing index 7.4. We already heard news about one tanker turning around in the Red Sea because of this, but now we're seeing news that 2 oil tankers with Saudi crude make U-turns in the Red Sea. We have U.S. Trade Representative Greer says Canada is giving other countries better trade deals and actions that the president proposed yesterday is tailored to Canada. Canada's trade retaliation has been notable. Yeah, I'm reading this notification by the street that's talking about how Redfin data shows housing market is kind of changing. High mortgage rates and prices have led to a big change in real estate. Stubbornly high mortgage rates, home prices that are super high for many buyers, volatile geopolitics, all affecting the housing market. They said these are all contributing to, dumping pending home sales, according to Redfin. In the 4-week period ending July 12th, pending sales in the U.S. dropped by 2.2%. It marked the first home sales decline in a month. Daryl Fairweather said data on home sales provides indicators about current housing demand. When fewer homes are selling, buyers have more negotiating power while indicating to sellers that they need to lower the price or offer concessions to sell quickly. Fewer pending sales impact home buyers and sellers, just in different ways. New listings are decreasing as well, though. Week over week, new home listings dropped 1.2%. During the 4-week period ending July 12th, there were 350,510 new listings. There were also 3.4 months of supply, which is down 0.2% year over year. So, fewer pending home sales should help buyers, though, a little bit. You're going to get better deals because homes aren't selling as fast. Interesting. When does the real estate market rebound here? I mean, here's the real issue is like, okay, if we look at interest rates, right? Like this is really what's affecting things. Let me see if I can find a mortgage rate graph. We've had what are mortgage rates right now? Like 6 something percent. We had a long time where mortgage rates were like 2 or 3%. And so, but at this point in time, we've had, 5% plus mortgage rates for years and years now. Years and years. Yeah, like, let me look at this graph. See if I can go back here, if it lets me go back this long. Yeah, we had I'm going to go back to, like, January of 2022. Yeah, so you can kind of see the difference in rates now. So this is from Freddie Mac. 30-year rate sitting at 6.55%. But one of the things that you can see is that home prices, obviously, we had low interest rate environment in 2020 to try to stimulate and kind of save us from some of the craziness of 2020, right? So, we were pretty low, but in 2022, everything started going up in interest rates. The inflation peaked at like 9% from all the QE and supply chain problems and everything else, stimulus checks, everything else we got from 2020. And so one of the net effects was that interest rates started to rise. And you can kind of see they hit almost 8% in 2023, but they've basically been anywhere between 5 and 6% now for years. Since 2023, so for 3-4 years, we've been in this range over 5% for interest rates. And that's much worse than the previous, like decade plus. It might have been longer than that. Like, look, yeah. So here's 2020. Prior to 2020, we had pretty low interest rates. We had like 3%, 2%, 3%. But you can kind of see here all the way back to 2009. So 16 years ago, the previous decade, we had a pretty low interest rate environment. Everything was under 5%. For the last 3-4 years, everything's been over 6%. So we've had higher interest rates now. And Yeah, it's just one of those things where the net effect of that over time is it's obviously going to impact the labor market or the real estate market. Nvidia is still pushing up though, so Nvidia is still rising here. Nvidia up to 2006. Let's see if it holds. Yeah, I did a poll. 57% say CPI does hit 5% this year. Florida home prices need to drop 20 to 30%. Market reversing. St. Claude beer. Yeah. My parents had a 13% mortgage, so I feel good at 5%. Yeah, that must have been in like the 80s, late 70s, early 80s. I trade the NASDAQ and the S&P sometimes, but... And we will trade right now. I haven't really traded much today, but let's trade. I gotta find something good to trade here, though, in the NASDAQ. I think I lost money yesterday, but the NASDAQ, honestly, here, guys, is so flat. It's not really doing anything.
I can't even trade.
Yeah, we're in a range. Why can't you trade?
Because my trade of 8 is malfunctioning. For some reason, it's not showing any of the candles or the price points.
Oh, well, just double click the price right here. It should fix it. Is trade of 8 still down? Hey, John, you used to be in real estate. Think real estate will get cheaper from here, more expensive, especially with higher rates? I mean, most of the time, home prices go up long term. Short term, you know, we could see volatility. I'm not sure. We just had Redbook year over year show up at 7.8%. The problem is the point of control is right here at 170, so I just don't know if there's any trades to get in today. Chop time. %is robbery. Yeah, I mean, we can look at the S&P here. I mean, S&P is downtrending a little bit more, but it's still green on the day. A little bit slower for news today, too. Redbook did just show up, though. Let me see other sources here. Anything else? Again, U.S. Trade Representative Greer on USMCA says they want to emphasize U.S., Canadian, and Mexican content in North American goods. We want more auto manufacturing here. The president wants the deficit to go down. On USMCA, says the president has already, in some ways, has already taken related actions. We want issues fixed. We have a good relationship with Canadian counterparts. Yeah, according to the Financial Times, the president is preparing to announce 10% tariffs on, quote, dozens of countries this week, apparently. Current 10% tariffs expire later this week. The president's advisors have reportedly warned him against doing so. Advisors are reportedly worried about risking the economic shocks of the original trade war ahead of midterm elections, working on other investigations that could grant it the legal authority to propose higher tariffs. Yeah, I mean, market trading is a little bit boring. It's ahead of earnings, guys. Like, earnings season is essentially here. And so, yeah, with earnings season here, one of the things we're seeing is markets chop sideways leading into it. So, all right, here's 8 o'clock. Let's see what happens at 8 o'clock. I want to trade. I'm just not going to force anything right now. It's just not worth it, to be honest. Bull's jumping back up a little bit, though. Again, chip stocks are up. MU, SK Hynix are up. I don't know if to buy this or not. There's another cause of high CPI manufacturing. Yeah. Daily goal reach done for the day. Good luck, everyone. I'll be larking from now on. I've heard some old people telling me about 18% back in the day. Yeah, you're talking about the late 70s, early 80s with all the stuff going on. So like if you look at CPI inflation, Or you'll get like the federal funds rate over that period of time. Let me see if it lets me look at longer term. I guess not. Yeah, look, Fed funds rate. If I go back to max here, yeah, look at the 70s and 80s. Here's the federal funds rate graph. Here's the late 70s into the early 80s. Interest rates hit almost 20%. So that's what they're referencing. Yeah, hopefully, obviously, that doesn't happen to us, but... Yesterday, under my old name, I kept saying silver was a trade ready to get into. It broke out today. It's still a guy entry pullback. Wise trading. Hey, we'll see what happens, bro. We'll see what happens. Market will open with no real good news today. Yeah, I mean, we don't really have much going on. I mean, the president apparently rejected the Iran thing. So, we'll see. But the president apparently rejected the Iran news, or the Iran ceasefire deal. Bro, how do I have more bots here? I thought I got rid of these bots. There we go. Yeah, I mean, Britt's talking about housing prices are going to come down until we bring down construction and material costs, build a bunch more houses, and stop private entities like BlackRock from buying up properties. No, 100% agree. You know, I even saw some people being like, hey, well, we should let the private or the, you know, like, people just have some bad ideas. Yeah, people just have some bad ideas regarding this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we should never build up... Yeah. I'm not going to go into it. But, yeah, people just have some bad ideas. S&P started to dip, though. NASDAQ coming down here. Hey, y'all hit the like button. What's up, Don? Boeing could be a quick grab early this morning. Yeah, didn't it... when's Boeing earnings? Did they already have earnings? Let me see. Okay, Boeing earnings are next week.
That's a good point, Pew.
I'm 4 months out from my custom home. Yard work, what I miss? Nothing. Market's kind of slow right now. Rear's been speaking this morning.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you got it. I'm not saying anything.
Well, I mean, like, this is more to do with rental prices, and only in certain places like West Texas boom towns and things like that, like, you know, where you have big like new construction projects and refineries going on. But my dad was out there working for several years, and he said that people out there would buy, you know, like those kind of larger sheds in front of Home Depot, you know, with like 2 floors or whatever, and they would literally subdivide them into 4 like really small units with a shared bathroom and charge each person in there $2,500 a month.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they do it. They're just trying to profit as much as they can.
I know. I'm just saying, like it's especially bad in boom towns like that. Like,
for sure,
that's ridiculous, dude.
Well, it's demand, you know, is what it is.
I know.
Yeah,
Intel, you always have that.
Yeah, for sure. Intel and Fortinet are collaborating to advance cybersecurity innovation and strengthen global supply chain resilience. You can see Intel reacting some to this news. It's up to 103s, now back to 102.70s. NASDAQ is starting to dip a little bit, though. I'm still watching oil, but things are really stagnant here ahead of earnings. Oil's still pushing up, though. But yeah, Intel, I'll put the news up in the chat right now. There's oil. Oil's up to 84.30s here. 84.30s. The economy sucks in Florida. Obviously, no one's buying houses. I've had mine on the market for a year. I've decreased it more than 10% already. Stock market's the last thing to drop. Yeah. Market's always manipulated. I mean, that's just how it goes. you could argue the market is manipulation. I mean, it's just based off of rumors, noise, like a lot of stuff. All right, so Greer is apparently done speaking on CNBC. He's no longer speaking here. We had the 9 a.m. scrum. Not much movement from it, but here's the NASDAQ here. NASDAQ at 29,160s.
You know, and the other thing is, I know that that people always want to make money when they sell their houses, especially if they've been been living in them for a while. And that's really only a problem because wages never grow up to match inflation.
Yeah, I mean, part of the problem is that, like, we're not on the precious metal standard anymore. You know, we used to be.
Yeah.
We're not anymore. If our currencies had followed that standard, we wouldn't be dealing with it nearly as much of the inflation issues that we're dealing with right now. The only real way to hedge against it is investing. And so you can invest, and that's a hedge against inflation. And long-term markets go up. It's one of the reasons I always try to, like, I try not to criticize too much, but, like, markets generally go up over time. But for whatever reason, like, I think shorting and betting against markets is the more, like, sexy thing that people want to look at. Like, it's more romanticized with movies like The Big Short, and I love The Big Short. But, you know, really we should be telling people, and I'm not an investment professional, but really we should be telling people to buy indexes and just sit on them long term. Right. But the real fun thing is, I want to short the top. Like, everybody's getting excited. Everybody wants to kind of be like, hey, I'm a big trader. You know, like, let's short this. I want to be the next big short guy like Michael Burry. And the real issue is that they lose out on long-term gains. That even if we do correct, even if we do crash, even if we do bear market, if you sit on things long-term, as long as you're not about to imminently retire. If you're imminently retiring soon, yeah, obviously it's not the time to, you know, but take a bunch of risk on assets. But if you're not doing that and you've got time to sit, that's what you want to do, is you just want to wait.
Yeah, honestly, just since you brought started talking about that kind of stuff specifically, I don't know if you've seen it, but if you haven't, you should. And I'm not going to try to go into it real deep or anything, but you should watch a Frontline documentary called The Retirement Gamble. It talks all about how companies slowly transition from pensions to 401ks and the pluses and minuses of that, and how a lot of people got trapped by 401ks and lost a lot of money, and just like, you know, how like you were talking about how it's a good idea to invest in index funds and things like that, as opposed to
sure, it's diversification in an asset, right? Is index funds.
Yeah.
You know, we could be talking about the NASDAQ, S&P, the Dow, the Russell, like whatever. We could talk about all of it. They're all good in their own ways. But yeah, just diversifying and sitting on things long term is the way. Kramer, what's Kramer saying on social media? Let me look at Kramer here. I haven't been watching him as much.
Michael Richards is on social media.
Let me see, Kramer. Oh, Jimmy Kramer, Jimothy, some say.
I thought you meant Cosmo Kramer.
Yeah, so Jim Cramer says we must not let our companies use these Chinese models to save a few bucks. OpenAI and Anthropic are correct. This is vital national security. Please read. Bing West just released Cat 5. I respect the Chinese people greatly, but these companies are run. Yeah. I don't see him saying anything right now.
Drops.
He said, is SK Hynix in charge of this market? I'm the best Big Short.
I listened to him in 2005 and lost a ton of money.
Markets.
I'm not laughing that you lost money. I'm just laughing at what you said.
Yeah. Markets go up over time because there is inflation. People like being short because markets move down fast. You can make a lot of money quickly. Sure. No, absolutely. But the easier money's long term. If you want to hedge against inflation, I mean, that's what you do. You know, as you sit on things long term. The problem with shorting long term assets is that they can drop quickly, but most, like, if you zoom out here, you know, yeah, you can find pockets of bear markets, but long term, you know, we're going up, and the gains are like, I'll put it this way. Warren Buffett famously always called out hedge funds in this way. Warren Buffett always said the average hedge fund is not going to beat the S&P 500 long term. regardless of profits, right? So the average hedge fund is not going. Now, there's tax benefits to hedge funds, which is kind of what big money does, but the average hedge fund is not going to beat the S&P 500 over time. It's just not. Regardless of what it's doing, day trading, shorting, all that stuff, it's just not going to beat the S&P over time, almost always. So that's the easiest way to understand it. Is you can try to take short positions, and again, I short the NASDAQ every day almost, as long as we have a good short opportunity. But that's day trading. And so, yeah, oil still pushing, guys. Here's oil. Oil up to 84.40s right now. Here's the high of the last, month and a half right here at 84.60. So we're very close to the high of the last month and a half in oil right now. Oil not stopping, soon to be 90 plus. I think that's the scary level, is over 90. I think once we hit 90s, market's going to get nervous. And that's when we might start seeing more fear. Yeah, we did just tap highs, though. It looks like oil wants to break this high of the last month, though. It's getting up there. Long or short oil right here, guys? What do you guys think? Long or short? Cosmo Kramer. Yeah, Jimothy. What's up, Sorrel? Yeah, let me know if you're long or short oil. Short? I mean, we're up. Look, it looks like it wants to break this level first. It might tap this level, get a little bit over it, and then drop, though. We'll see. Short, short, short. Waiting for the president to say something for oil to drop. I mean, he could say something, oil might go up, too. But I don't put that beyond it. Short. Brent oil just hit 89. This is resistance from 2 days ago. Long. So we see some longs. We did a poll earlier. We said, will CPI inflation hit 5% this year? 62% say yes. 37% say no. So 63% say yes. 37% say no. Short, short, then a short, long. Yeah, oil's still ripping, but it's starting to dip a little bit here. I'm not necessarily opposed to an oil short here, but we'll give it some time. S&P at 7,500s roughly. How much time do we have left? Okay, we got 19 minutes. Yeah, I think we might come up here. We might tap this high and then dump down, But I don't know. I mean, it's very possible that we don't do this, and obviously we just keep ripping here in oil. It's close. Yeah. Maybe we should... Yeah, obviously it's hard to predict oil right now. With everything going on, it's really hard to predict oil right now. Yields are still rebounding some. Just on higher oil prices. It's still only about a 16 or 17% chance that we raise rates next week, next Wednesday. So OpenAI apparently is to announce that it has now reached 10 million users after GPT work, according to Bloomberg. So 10 million users for OpenAI. We'll see when they IPO. They were supposed to IPO this year, and instead they're doing it next year. Oil reserves are low. I think it can go up or down. Up and down's fair. It's starting to slow down, but I think it wants to break this 84.6 level. You'll go get 20-day chart. We hit this level roughly Sunday. At the Sunday open, after all the escalation over the weekend, oil jumped up to 84.6s here. We're basically there now. And so the question is, what do we do? I don't know. Halliburton says Middle Eastern activity is recovering following the conflict, but pace remains dependent on day-to-day security developments. Q gap fill today. Yeah, the earnings this week will be interesting for sure. All right, so yeah, oil starting to pull back a little bit now. I'm watching it. We might jump in a short. I want to see it under 84.50 though. All right, so we just jumped in a short. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna take some off here. Take 2/3 of that off and then wait. I remain bullish on oil, Steve. I like to add to my silver pullback. We're still dropping here in this trade though, but we'll see if it holds. I'm not super used to trading oil, but we've got a little cushion now, so that's good. The busy day short at the end. We're probably gonna hold the rest break even. It's close enough to highs to where I think we got some room to hold it break even. Amazon's e-commerce site for business nears 60 billion in sales. Again, the Financial Times reporting that the president is supposed to announce 10% tariffs on a bunch of different countries this week. Also, Kalshi is seeking CFTC approval for perpetual futures tied to gold. Tesla Robotaxi is now in Tampa and Orlando. Oil's risky, but not the only risky asset. Oh yeah, I mean, obviously there's lots of risky assets. Look at quantum right now. All right, so we're still dropping here. I'll take a little bit more off. And we'll hold this last little piece, maybe add to it. Again, check out Lucid, guys. I think if you haven't used your 50% off, you could still use it. But again, check out Lucid. Great way to help support the channel. No PDT run futures. You can day trade the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, gold, commodities. Great way to learn. Here's the link in the chat right now. You can use that link. I don't know if 50% off is still there, though. I'll have to go back and check. But again, Lucid has just some of the best rules in the game. The one good thing about oil is once it reaches a certain point, if you don't over leverage, just short and wait it out. Depends on how long the conflict lasts, though, you know. You know, we could get more escalation. I think now, I think the odds are still pretty low in some of this stuff, though. Like, I think the odds are still kind of low in regards to, like, in regards to the conflict escalating to a point where oil's going to start to hit 100, 120 a barrel again. But I still don't think the odds of that are zero. I mean, obviously, there's a chance that that happens. I hope it doesn't happen, but, yeah. Yeah, it depends on what you consider the certain point. Selling options premium on oil. All right, so I'm still in the shortest time. That's a very small short. Again, earnings season is here, basically. We'll see what the opening bell brings, but earnings season's effectively here. And so tomorrow is one of the big moments. All right, so we're still dropping here. I might add to this position now. We'll add a little bit here. What do we have? 12 minutes until the open. S&P's moving up though a little bit. We'll hold this break even now though, roughly break even. Alright guys, so yeah, I'm gonna see if oil keeps dropping. We're shorting it right now. Looks like the short predictors are right. The S&P's actually pushing up a little bit. I think so is the NQ here as well. So the NASDAQ is right at the 200 exponential. Seems to be bouncing a little bit at the 200-day EMA, but we've been basically sideways in the NASDAQ all morning here since early this morning. We haven't really moved up or down too much. I think markets are just pricing in earnings maybe here a little bit. Should I sell my SPY? And everyone is saying the market's going to crash. I don't know, man. Does anybody think the market's going to crash this year? I haven't heard as many crash predictors. I've had a lot of people say market's overextended and all that stuff, but I haven't heard as many crash predictors this year, all things considered. So, you know, I've seen more crash predictors in previous years. This year it's a little bit slower. Today's supposed to be a red day. All right, so oil's still dropping down. We're at 84.20s.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the market is going to crash. No, 100%. No crush. Maybe. No. Yes, in the very back end of this year. No few corrections, though. Correction, but not crash. Generally, we correct at least 10% once a year. All right, so oil's still falling. We're at 84.20s right now for WTI crude. Still dipping down some. I think I'm just going to hold this break even. Crash, no, but 10% pullback, yes. Definitely a correction, not a crash. The actual crash is more likely. See a lot of people saying that we crash, or we correct, but not a crash. We get a second correction in the back end of midterms. Last 3 months, might be see after September. I don't know. I'm seeing oil jump up a little bit real quick here, though.
U.S. Secretary of State Rubio to host G20 foreign ministers meeting in Atlanta on October 30th and 31st.
Yeah, I see UBS is raising its year-end S&P 500 target to 8100s. All right, I'm going to cover this break even and then get out of my stop loss here and just wait now.
Amazon e-commerce site for business near $60 billion in sales.
Yeah, we're getting close to the opening bell. Yeah, Jim Cramer says, quote, "We are so fired up here. The president doesn't like that balance of powers thing because he is laughing at Chief Justice Roberts, smirking at the guy," end quote. Yeah, again, UBS raised its year-end S&P 500 target to 8100s. Another quiet day, though. I think markets are just preparing for earnings, although the NASDAQ is rallying up here. We got 4 minutes until the market on open data. Here's the NASDAQ. I don't know if I'd call this a rally, but this is why I look at the 200 exponential here. Look at that level. Algorithms just watch the 200 EMA. We're starting to get back towards the top of the range, though. We'll see if memory plays and names continue to rebound. MU back up to 920. SanDisk is right at 1500s. And so Google's still technically red on the day. Meta is green. Microsoft is red. What about Oracle, guys? What do y'all think about Oracle? I'm already in Oracle. I hope it goes up, but oil 120. If any tech companies cut back on CapEx, then crash. Yeah, we saw the Meta drop like a few weeks ago where Meta said they're selling excess AI capacity, and we did see a pretty big correction. That's kind of what spiraled this memory correction, was Meta saying that. It seemed like initially an overreaction, though. So, again, if earnings season's very relevant in that regard because of because of CapEx fears. And so we'll see if that dynamic continues with earnings season. That's one of the big stories, like today or tomorrow. I don't think we have any big earnings Thursday, but tomorrow and next week, essentially, we've got some big names coming out. So, again, tomorrow we got IBM, Google, Tesla, ServiceNow. Thursday we get like Nokia and Intel. We get Intel on Thursday, actually. So Thursday we got Intel. Tomorrow we have Google, Tesla, IBM. And so we'll see what they've got to say there. Very relevant for all that stuff. But it will hit 150. I keep buying Oracle leveraged funds. I'm shorting the reversal. I like Oracle. Oil to 120s. Fake pump today. We'll see what happens at the opening bell. Sometimes we get news and then market doesn't do anything in pre-market like it's doing now, and then we get like big volatility unlocked at the opening bell. The market on open data should be coming out in about 50 seconds here though, so we'll see if we hold. But the market on open data should be coming out in about 50 seconds. All right, look, we're at 174s. Nasdaq's still kind of quiet here, though. Getting closer to highs of the day on the Nasdaq, though. Here's the market on open data in 5 seconds. So we'll see if this moves it at all, but here's the Nasdaq. Here's the market on open data right now. You can see that little pop in the Nasdaq on the MOO data. Look at the Nasdaq move a little bit on this. So we are wiggling a little bit from this data release. But we'll see if we hold. But there's the Nasdaq. We're at 187s. High of the day is at 204s on the NQ. Or no, I'm 207s. But it's starting to get closer. You know, a lot of this resistance up here, like 203s, 204s, 207s. Moving things a bit. Very choppy day.
Canada joins.
Very range bound.
Canada joins Anglo-Italian-Japanese GCAP fighter jet project as an observer.
Oh, well, that's cool.
I mean, I know it's not a market thing. It's just, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right. Here we go, guys. Less than 5 minutes. Nasdaq is doing well on the market on open data, though. It is pushing up here. Look, we're up to 191s right now. 180s. So the Nasdaq is moving higher here. Getting close. We've got like a quadruple top up here right around 195 and 200s here, though. So we do have a lot of resistance up here. But, you know, we start to break that level maybe around the opening bell and then break the high of the day up here. You know, maybe the market likes it. It looks like the market on open data was favorable for buys, though, it seems. We got 3.5 minutes. Bull or bear for the opening bell, guys? What do you guys think? We did a poll earlier. Apparently, 62% of people think, yes, CPI inflation does hit 5% this year. It looks bullish right now on the market on open data, but I'm going to have to let things settle a little bit. It's very rangy, very sideways day. What's up, Tiny? Only time to short is when it's margin call on a larger bounce. Take the money out. Bull, bear. Are you covering the ServiceNow call? No. I'm not going to stream the ServiceNow call. Sit on hands day again. Bull. Yeah, I mean, yesterday, we moved a little bit yesterday, but it was back and forth in all honesty. So, range bound. Yeah, I mean, we do have big earnings this evening, so maybe market's a little range bound heading into the day. That's possible. I cannot wait to see how market reacts to a rate hike by the new year. I'm almost tempted to buy this dip, though. But the problem is we have 2.5 minutes left until the opening bell. And the dip's kind of gone already, so we basically got balled up ahead of it. Risky endeavor. It would have to be like a 2-minute trade, and I don't know. Rate hike by new year? Maybe. If oil stays elevated, escalation continues, it's possible. All right, we're at 29,200s. Nasdaq getting close to the highs. I should have bought the dip. There we go. We just broke highs of the day ahead of the opening bell with 2 minutes left. Nasdaq starting to rip. So So Nasdaq's running here a little bit ahead of the opening bell, guys. So we are seeing some movement here after a good market on open data and more kind of pushing things. I don't see any other news, so it looks like the opening bell is just volatile here. Oil's still at high of the day as well. Gold still sitting up there at 4,050s, but it's been pulling back a little bit over the last few minutes with higher oil and higher yields maybe. But the Nasdaq new high is around 215 or so. 213s really. All right, we got 1 minute left, guys. 1 minute. Another gap up to fade the open, looks like. Yeah, it could be. I mean, we'll see. I'm going to let things settle for the first 5 minutes here. We have 1 minute left until the opening bell, guys. 1 minute. Going up 3%, ending down 0.5. Yeah, I mean, yesterday... I'm trying to see what we did yesterday. Yesterday we dropped. We gapped up and then dropped in the Nasdaq. And today we're gapping up even more. So maybe we see a mirroring effect today with what happened yesterday. All right, guys, we're up to almost 213s. He's talking rate hike and higher inflation when midterms approaching. Trading doesn't mean ignoring. Yeah, we got 25 seconds left here, guys. 25 seconds left. My first play isn't losing. Pinch me, I'm dreaming. You might be dreaming here at the beginner trading channel. It's a short. Yeah, I'm waiting here. I can't trade. I gotta wait. We did have this nice run up at the opening bell, though. We'll see what happens in 10 seconds in the opening bell. 10 seconds until the open. There's the open. A little red candle happening since the opening bell. I'm going to watch memory. NVIDIA seems to be strong right before the opening bell. It's at 208 right now for NVIDIA. MU and memory plays also rebounding back up. So look at this really strong opening bell here. NASDAQ up to 240s. It doesn't mean it's going to hold, but the NASDAQ finding some strength here. And then there's a pullback. So, again, MU seems to be moving up so far since the opening bell. Although it is retracing a little bit. NVIDIA's been jumping up for the 5 minutes preceding the opening bell. It's up to 208s right now, almost 209s. All right, we're starting to dip some. First move is the wrong move. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm watching oil. There's the NASDAQ start to dip. You could be right. I mean, often the first move is the wrong move. We're in one of the high volume areas. I should have maybe bought that dip, but we're only a minute into the day, so I have to wait. Also, guys, remember, Apex, I think, still has their $50, their $49 no activation fee 50K combine, or 50K challenge. If you want to check them out, here's the link. They are. You can use my code BGT to get the max discount. I appreciate it. But look at this drop. So we are starting to drop. There's the link right there if you want to check it out. We're trying to hold here, though. Look at the red. We just hit the 200 exponential. We're only 2 minutes into the day, though. I can't really trade this. Yeah, I see that news. Siren sounded in Kuwait. All right, so maybe more escalating things going on. Let's see what oil's doing. Oil up to the highs here. So oil is up to highs. All right, so we're starting to dip. I'm going to short this. A little risky. What time is it? Oh, I'm breaking my rules today, guys. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm already green on the day, though, but you know, the news about the siren sounding and responding to missiles and oil pushing up just makes me a little bearish right now, but I'll give it a second here. It's very small. We'll give it a second, then maybe add to it. I'm breaking my rules here trading this, but that's all right. I don't know. It's seeing stubborn at the 200 exponential. We're 3 minutes into the day. Problem is, if we start to do a red to green move, I don't like that at all. And we could just be range bound, really. All right, I'm gonna cut it. We're still green on the day, but I'm less green now. I broke my rules. I got a little too excited here. I would potentially short this right here though, but I'm gonna wait. Follow my rules here. Adobe software is starting to rebound back up. MU is still testing highs though. Yeah, I should have taken that trade. Again, it broke my rules. I recognized it immediately. Adobe's bouncing back though. MU just broke highs of the day. Oil's starting to pull back a little bit here. And Nvidia's starting to dip back down too, though. It's a problem. But memory's starting to rebound. Oil dipping down a little bit here as well. NASDAQ still consolidating here, right around the 200 EMA.
Yeah, I'll be back in just a sec.
Okay. I mean, Oracle's up a little bit, not too much. It's jumping up some, but nothing crazy. Maybe I should have held that short. Again, it went against my rules, though. Might short a bounce back, though, to the same entry level. All right, we got a little bounce back here. We'll short into the 200 exponential right here. I'm going to take half off of this immediately and just lock in the profit here because I think it could fake me out here. I'm going to get out break even on there. Just trying to scalp in and out of this, guys. Let me see if we get a pop back up. Port of control. I'm just going to wait until we break down a little bit more, I think. Short, SpaceX. Where's SpaceX right now? SpaceX down to 120s. Yeah, I'm looking at SpaceX starting to rebound. MU just broke highs of the day again. And this is what I was worried about. Oil continues to fall. Here's MU. So MU back up to 930s here. So MU starting to pop. I'm worried about a range bound day, but look at MU, guys. Just broke 940s. SpaceX is still down. Nvidia is kind of neutral since the opening bell, but memory plays are starting to bounce back here, is what it seems. Let me see if any news dropped. I don't think so, but SanDisk and MU have bounced back a lot. Yeah, look at some of these green candles in the NASDAQ here on this memory bounce back. Dude, I'm tempted to long this here again. We'll long it right here. We'll give it a second. You can also wait for the opening range to hit. Memory play seems strong still, and if Nvidia starts trending with us, we'll be in a better spot. I'm going to add one more to this. We'll give it some time. We'll put a stop loss down here at like 170, which we might hit immediately. Yeah, we just got stopped out. Just really fake bad. This is not good market action to trade. And it might just kind of stop me out and pop back here. But choppy week ahead of earnings. I would just be careful, guys. NASDAQ is kind of whipping back and forth. Nvidia is still kind of dipping here, though. Let's see if this holds. Yeah, look at MU pull back quickly at 930s here. It's dropping the NASDAQ again. It's really range-bound trading today ahead of earnings. tomorrow is what I'm showing here. We'll see if MU and SanDisk keep popping back, though. I mean, I think there's a chance they do. MU back up to 940s. We did go right down to the 200 exponential. SanDisk just broke highs of the day at 1524s. Market's erratic. It's flat. It's choppy right now. Some stuff's moving up. Some stuff's moving down in the Mag 7. And so that's kind of making the most indices choppy today, I would say. And I'm pretty much flat on the day here. I don't know if the market's necessarily easy to predict here, though. Oil testing highs, is it really?
I'm back.
What's up, dude?
Anything cool happening? Anything good? Interesting?
Flat market. Memory's bouncing back.
That's interesting.
That's kind of cool. Memory's bouncing back. SanDisk, MU. Nvidia's starting to look okay. Apple's starting to rebound as well a little bit. But so far, flat, boring market. Oil's still at 84.5s. We'll see if it pops up more. Slow, choppy grind up into earnings. Yeah, baby. I mean, look, markets are just kind of flat and boring right now. They're not really doing too much. You know?
Yeah.
I'm tempted to buy this, but a buy would basically be betting MU continues to push up, which I think is probably the higher chance. But I'm going to take one contract here. But it could certainly go the other way.
Has saved AMC and the theater industry with his fabulous directing of the Odyssey. Dude, if I directed the Odyssey, I would have been in it.
Yeah. Yeah, make me Odysseus. I think if there's anybody I mirror, it's Odysseus.
Dude, I would have been Helen.
Yeah, I'm covered. The NASDAQ coming down here. Again, I don't know what to do with this. SanDisk just broke highs. Nvidia's trying to get up there. MU's pulling back, though. It's just boring trading. And I'm pretty much flat on the day. I might be down like $70 or something like that. Yeah. So, here's oil. Oil's getting up there. Here's MU, which is kind of pulling back a little bit. Still looks strong on the day, though.
Thanks, Preston. I know you said earlier that I was your hero, but you've become mine. You know, if you save me. If you don't, then all bets are off.
All right. What do you guys think right here? Here's the NASDAQ. It's just such a slow day. Like, this is all the NASDAQ has done since the open. Last purchase on MU was at 890. Yeah, this market sucks. Again, we got earnings tomorrow. That's probably moving stuff. All right. All right. I'm attacking the range here. I just bought the dip. I'm going to see if this range holds, but we'll set a stop loss. Yeah, I'm having trouble building up a cushion on the day, like a reasonable cushion here. And so maybe it might be a day to just not take too much risk. And I think with all the stuff going on in markets, that makes sense. Just based off of everything, it makes sense that it might be a day where taking big risk is not the best move. We're gonna go very small though. I gotta build up a cushion first, and if that's hard for me to do, I just trade small all day and don't trade too much. Yeah. There's a little bounce. We'll add to it if it goes deeper in my favor here, but alright, that's not too bad. We added to it a little bit here. There we go. We'll take half off. See what this last piece does. Very rangy market. On the good news, though, we might have like an orb breakout that we could potentially take. I'm going to just get out the rest there. I think I'm pretty much flat on the day now. Yeah. So I'm going to wait for this orb to break now, I think. Sandisk just broke highs. MU looks like it could bounce. I really wanted a NASDAQ dip to the VWAP, but I just never got it. VWAP's now over 29s as well. AVGO dumping. Charles Schwab sees fiscal year revenue increasing by 17.5% to 18.5% versus prior year. Adjusted expenses to grow 9.5 to 10.5% year over year. It's like I got out of this at the right time. I mean, this market is just kind of flat. Like, we've got a range here. We can look for the orb setup is what I'm going to be paying attention to. I want to see if the orb setup works. What's up, Britt?
Oh, nothing. I was just making a stupid observation.
Oh, well.
Charles Schwab sounds like a pirate. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah, I guess he does. Yeah. Yeah.
I told you it was a stupid observation.
Charlie Schwab. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the NASDAQ just cracked this orb range here. I might short now, but I don't want to get liquidity grabbed right here. I need a bigger bounce, I think. There's a bounce. All right, I just jumped in short. There we go. We cracked the range here. It's really struggling to break down though. I'm gonna get out here. Or I didn't mean to get out the whole thing. I'm mismanaging my trades a little bit here. We'll add some to this and take the risk here, but we broke the orb and then we immediately, there we go. Take half off. Give it a little more time. Still trading small. I gotta build up a cushion here first, guys. There we go. Take another half off. We're green on the day now, but it's not a lot. So we can take a little bit more risk in our next trade. And this looks like it's gonna break on the upside. I'm gonna cut it. We can take a little bit more risk on our next trade, but not too much still. But yeah, there's the orb setup. Break it down here. The Dow isn't on futures. Yeah, the Dow's on futures. Boomers, I said the Dow. Here's the Dow right here. Dow looks a little bit better, honestly, to trade. But
You can see all their ears perking up.
I'm sorry, Boomers. I might short the Dow right here. I think I will short the Dow right here. Boomers are going to celebrate. You know, confetti will rain from the sky if I lose on this short of the Dow.
Hey, John, did you know that a singular piece of confetti is called a confetto?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. You know, I did not know that.
Now you do.
Yeah. I needed to know that. That was an important daily fact.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah. ExxonMobil
It'll
going
be
up.
very useful in the future.
We're always fading each other. All right. I'm gonna cover some of this Dow short. The Dow doesn't move as much as I thought. I probably should have taken bigger size here. It's a very small trade. I'm gonna start cutting this. I didn't mean to take this smaller size. I shall continue my short here, I think. I need a bounce. I'll short more into a bounce. All right, we'll short into this. We have 6 contracts in our Dow short now. Oh my gosh, bro. Dude, how can I? Oh my gosh. This female rapper Trinity. I put it on instrumentals. It doesn't show up in instrumentals. Or it shows up in instrumentals. And like, no matter what I do, like I'm like running from those songs, but no matter what I do, they keep finding them. Alright, I'm losing on the Dow, guys. Boomers, I gotta cut my Dow short. I am now red back on the day here. I should have shorted the Dow, guys. I should have done it.
But the Boomers tried to tell you.
I know, man. They probably tried. They're celebrating right now. I can feel it in their hearts. How could you do this to me, Boomers? Alright, guys. NASDAQ. A little red on the day, but again, I think today might just be choppy. Haha, sucker. I heard that in, what's his name's voice? Who's the guy from Predator? In Mr. T's voice.
Arnold?
No.
Mr. T wasn't in Predator.
No, I know Mr. T wasn't in Predator. Originally I was going for...
Rocky?
No. Carl Weathers. You know?
Oh.
But then I pivoted to Mr. T because I figured the Boomers, you know, that's kind of their hero. You know what I mean? Maybe not Mr. T. Maybe that's like...
Mr. T talking like that makes sense. Carl Weathers doesn't talking like that didn't make sense.
Well,
Carl Weathers was a very eloquent man. He enunciated very well.
Alright, guys. I didn't want to tell the Boomers here, but I did take another short in the Dow. I must have recouped my losses. And it's working.
And his biceps were only 2 inches smaller than Arnold's.
I pity the fool who shorts the Dow. Alright. My Dow short is now working again.
Carl Winslow.
I'm going to take some more off here. You help me out a lot because while I work, I can listen. Hey, nice, man. Yeah, well, today's a boring day, dude. We just don't have anything going on. Again, we'll do a giveaway. Maybe that'll spice things up. You can do exclamation point BGT in the chat. We'll give away a Lucid Flex account. And again, use code BGT if you haven't already. Yeah, so if you enter exclamation point BGT, you can join the giveaway. You can win a Lucid Flex 50K account if you win.
A good giveaway.
Yeah, it's a good giveaway, guys. Do it now.
Guys
Right
better get in on it. As
Some
a
say
boomer, I
free.
like Carl Weathers. Dude.
Yeah.
Good.
Some say free is better than good. Guys, I'm going to short the Dow again here. We're going to add to our Dow short.
That's what they say, yep.
Yeah.
As a boomer, I like Carl Weathers. You don't have to be a boomer like Carl Weathers. I love Carl Weathers. He was great. Haven't you ever seen Action Jackson when he jumped over a taxi?
I'm watching Software. Yeah, just remember, guys, listen. We're going to give this giveaway some time to work. Don't you leave. If you leave, you don't win. We had a bunch of people that won last time. And here, we're going to cover some more into this weakness on the Dow. Exclamation point BGT will issue you the giveaway. Steve?
Yeah, Steve just said I'm about to leave, though. Just letting you know.
Oh, sorry, Steve. It's all good, bro. If you win, If you're in the Discord, just, I'll get it to you there, bro. Yeah, I mean, we're shorting the Dow, guys. And we're green on the short. We've made all our money back from our previous loss, plus some here. I'll get out break even on the rest. See if the Dow keeps on dropping.
Amazing. You see all kinds of people for the giveaways that never say anything in the chat.
Yeah, y'all are ungrateful, bro. I'm just saying, I see what you're doing. Gator Sound, thank you for the subscribe. I'm sure you're just trying to join the giveaway. We're going to cut it right here.
That's okay. At least you subscribed.
Yeah. Lurkers, I see you guys here. Y'all are just joining the giveaway. I see it. I see what you're doing. Adobe, try to move up here. Let's see what happens. It looks like I got out of the Dow just in time. Like, literally just in time. Because the Dow just jumped back up. Maybe all I had to do was talk about the Dow. Here's the NASDAQ. Pretty boring range. Looks like a downward trend, though, here in the NQ. Like, look, you can kind of see, obviously, we've got, like, a downward. That's a bad line. But you can kind of see the Dow short-term trend here. It looks like it's reacting to it as well. It just rejected at the top. So that top has been confirmed a few times. So is the bottom. So sometimes the Dow can kind of trend against the NASDAQ, though. It depends. Memory definitely bouncing back. I mean, it has so far today. MU's at 930s, hit 945s earlier. SanDisk is still at 1500s, though. So yeah, oil's dipping down to 84s. Under 84.50, I mean. HSBC raises Morgan Stanley price target. I'm tempted to short this, but I'm worried we're going to break out of this trend as soon as I buy it. Dude, my camera.
Did your camera go out again?
I guess. Hey, what's up, Barefoot Sailing Adventures? Like, honestly, I can't even lie. I get wrapped up in some of the sailing videos. And this is coming from somebody, like, bro, I get seasick if I step on a freaking cruise ship. All right?
Really?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I go fishing. Don't get me wrong. Like, I go fishing in a little boat, which is ironic because it moves more than a cruise ship. But some of those YouTube videos catch me, Like, I'm watching these people, they're going sailing. I wish I could do it.
You just need to invest in some quinine, John.
Yeah, dude, I still remember the taste of Dramamine. I still remember it. It tastes like tangerine. Ugh, gross. That stuff put me to sleep. NASDAQ's still following this dip. But what's up, Barefoot Sailing? What?
So I think quinine's for seasickness. I might be wrong.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, how dare you not know? Hold on, I'm gonna look because now I'm curious. I hope I didn't just advise you to hey, you should take this poison,
Yeah, you better figure it out, Britt, quick.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened. Britt said this would take care of my seasickness, but now it's worse than ever.
I'm looking at Barefoot Sailing Adventures. It's a fairly good channel.
You're right, Sleepy. It is for malaria.
Oh my gosh, Britt, dude.
Well, it's not gonna hurt you.
NASDAQ starting to flush
sure you
down
never
a
get
little
malaria.
Yeah, if we get 500 likes, well, that's when we'll pick a giveaway winner. 500 likes, we deserve it. We need it. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna preface this Barefoot Sailing Adventures. I'm gonna preface this with just know I like your channel. I'm just joking. I appreciate you watching the stream. Your thumbnails, hilarious. Dude, hilarious. My guy knows how to get guys to click his links, or girl. You might be a girl. If that's true, do your thing. I'm not mad at you either. But those thumbnails are funny. Honestly, I'm probably bringing people to your channel right now, so you're welcome.
never seen any of those videos.
Yeah. Look, I'll send you the channel. Y'all go check out Barefoot Sailing Adventures. You know. But the thumbnails are funny. I can't lie. Alright, so we're still in this range here. MU's still pulling back, though, so is SanDisk.
I gotta say, bad advice on the quinine there, John. But considering, the part of the country we live in and how mosquito heavy we are, it might still be a good idea.
No, don't. Don't take it.
I'm just gonna
pretend.
I'm just gonna. I'm talking about you. I'm not advising anybody in the chat to take it.
SpaceX up. No news besides Musk warning shorts. Is SpaceX still up? Yeah, SpaceX is up to 124s today.
One is I'm pretending I knew what I was talking about the whole time, even though I didn't.
I know. You're good, brother. You're good. Alright, so we're starting to bounce back here. I'm going to short this. It's worked so far. We're going to take some right here, maybe add a little bit up to like 150s here, and then we're going to stop. There we go. We got 3 contracts. Let's see if that rejections here. All right, we're at the 200 EMA. Let's see if we reject back down here. Dude, I swear, today I built up a cushion. This looks like it's going to run up. I built up a cushion today, and then, like, back and forth. Like, I've just basically been going back and forth. Building up a cushion, losing the cushion. Building up a cushion, losing the cushion. Building up a cushion, losing the cushion. All right, so apparently Rubio is going to meet with China's foreign minister in Manila on Wednesday. Coinbase is going to redesign infrastructure to prevent recurrence of disruption that occurred on July 14th. NASDAQ's starting to gain some strength here. Let me make sure we don't have any news. It's so choppy right now, though, dude. This is so choppy. NASDAQ still creeping up a little bit here. Might buy the dip at the 200 EMA. Yeah, you know what? We're going to buy this. I'll put the trade up, but 200 exponentials right there. We break out of the 200 EMA. It's just not a good time to trade. I'm going to reduce my size a little bit small here and give it a chance. There we go. And then it just rejected. I probably shouldn't get right in at the point of control here, though. That's probably my first mistake, but market's so flat. Boring day. Head of earnings, I guess that's predictable. What are our likes at now? Alright, we're going to cut this. Just choppy day. I'm trying not to get too stuck in this chop. Again, exclamation point BGT will join the giveaway, guys. Exclamation point BGT. Yeah, not a good day to trade. It's just, you know, dumping people. Again, we're giving away a Lucid Flex account. What are the likes at? 250. Let me refresh this. Yeah, Nvidia announced a passive 9.3% stake in Nebius, I believe is what it is. Now the Nasdaq just trapped everybody, starting to dip here. MU starting to fall down to 925s. We'll give it some time, but you only have to enter it once, guys. Hey, keep Steve's name out your mouth, Don. You don't talk about him like that. You know? This is Steve right here. You definitely don't talk bad about the other guy up there. You know? Who's the other guy? That guy right there. Look at that. What a handsome man up there. I don't know who that is up there, but what a handsome... You know? He must be a leader of some sort. You know what I mean? Definitely a leader up there. I can feel it in his presence, you know? I can just feel it there, you know? Like, you know what? I feel like people look at that guy and they're like, you know what? I'll follow him, you know? He seems like a leader. Is that real? No, this is all OBS. This is all background, you know? These books aren't real. I'm not real. None of the stuff in the backgrounds are real, you know? He looks bearish. I don't know what to do with this market, guys. MU breaking down now. What's oil doing? The rich mahogany is real, though. You know, Jeremy. You know. A leader, you know. Boeing? For what? Jono, what are you talking about, bro? Bro, this is my office. I do what I want in here, man. Honestly, my wife gave me that image of me up there. The leader, John, in the suit. She gave me that picture. Yeah. Nasdaq at 29,100s. Gold's doing okay. Sandisk and MU are really what's pulling back here, driving the Nasdaq down. Here's MU, down to 920s again. Here's Sandisk, down to 1500s. Here's Nvidia, dipping down to 204s, hit 208s this morning. So tech is kind of pulling back here. AMD's dipping down a little bit as well, so tech's just kind of falling. Chop, chop, chop. Yeah. Microsoft under 400s. Yeah, it was under 400s all day, though. So it was under 400s all day. Tesla up. Yeah, Tesla, maybe we'll see some movement in that ahead of earnings. Same thing with Google. Tesla is running up. So we'll see. Bitcoin's running up too. I see Caspian Pipeline Consortium has reportedly stopped oil intake from Kazakhstan due to attacks. Gilead and Merck announced the primary endpoint results for some treatment. All right, guys, we got our giveaway. We still got to wait for people to sign up, though. Gold is pumping. Is it really? Let me see gold. I mean, pumping is, I think, a strong word. Maybe, I mean, I would definitely use it occasionally. But right now, markets are just boring, dude. Hey, shout out to
Also,
Sweet.
It's just Kazakhstan, not Kazakhstan.
Oh, well, yeah. Top 3 worst pronouncer ever here. Honestly, the market's kind of boring right now. Again, exclamation point BGT will enter you into the giveaway if you haven't already. What are you guys trading right now? I don't know what to trade. This is kind of boring. Hood pumping? Is it really? MU still breaking down. It's under 920s here. So we are seeing a correction in memory here a little bit after a very big gap up on the day. We're at 1500s for SanDisk. SK Hynix is at 162. It's holding up a little bit better. MU is really fading, though. It's at 920s here. I mean, yeah, you got to be present to win the giveaway. Yep. I'll do it pretty soon. I don't know how long I'm going to stick around here. It's just a little boring right now, to be honest. And so give me like, we'll do it in 10 minutes. MU still fading though. Hey, what's up, Tariq? Yeah, all good, brother. Yeah, I don't know if I think it randomly picks somebody in the chat. I don't know if it's the chat, but you got to enter exclamation point BGT to get it in the chat. It signs you up. You only need one entry. You only need to do it once, but all right, we're at 918s. Yeah, look, here's the... We'll put the timer up here so you guys actually get it, but... Make it big and obnoxious. You got 10 minutes to enter exclamation point BGT to enter the giveaway. And you can use that code on Tradeify, Apex, Lucid, Take Profit Trader as well. Apex still has their $50, $49 no activation fee, 50K. I might try to trade again, but I got to trade small. I'm just not having good results. Tesla, Meta, AMD, PayPal, USO, Intel, Lucid, Netflix, Nike, SpaceX. Hey, nice, Tiny. Do I have time to grab a smoke? Yeah, I mean, you got 10 minutes, bro. 9 minutes now. Yeah, look at SpaceX. I mean, it's trying. Good. I'm in SpaceX. I want it to go up. Let's see if it does. SanDisk's starting to come back, so is MU. Think about maybe buying this here. Let me see. All right, we bought a little bit. It's maybe a little risky, but that's all right. Seems to be slowing down. There we go. There we go. I'm going to reduce my size here a little bit just to protect in case it does start to push down again. But I think longer term it looks like it's going to rebound back up. But there we go. All right, we're back up a little bit more. There we go. I'll take half off there. Maybe add some if it pushes up some more. We'll give it a second now. It's been choppy a lot of the day here, so I just assume we're going to rebound back up. All right, guys, we have 6.5 minutes until the giveaway. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut it right there. I know I was going to add back, and maybe I add back a short, like a pullback to like 110s or so. But now we're back to close to flat. Maybe down a little bit on the day, but not as much. Hey, later, Tariq. Have a good day, bro. Maybe I sold too early. All right, we're going to buy back a dip here to see if we hold. We're looking up to like 150 is what we're looking for. I swear, I build up profit and then it gives back, and then I build up profit and it gives back. Here's the 110 entry I was looking at to buy. Let's see if that would have worked, but yeah, we gotta cut it. Not a good day to trade, and I think memory plays are still bouncing down here. So yeah, look at memory start to slump. MU just dumped down, Adobe just dumped down, SanDisk just dropped a lot. Yeah, that's why I cut it.
Apparently, Intel is planning layoffs within its data center group.
Really?
Yep.
They have earnings Thursday as well.
It's not clear how many Intel staff to be impacted by cuts.
Interesting.
And Ford is recalling nearly 388,000 vehicles due to an issue with the second row seats that could increase the risk of injury. Well, that's not good.
Yeah. No, it's not. Yeah, we got 4.5 minutes left with the giveaway, and once we do that, we're probably just gonna cut out. It's just too boring of a day. The market's too sideways. Memory is starting to correct a little bit here, but it's so rangy right now. Yeah, I see Nvidia owns a big chunk of NBIS. Yeah, I mean, a rangy day ahead of earnings tomorrow makes sense, though, you know, with everything going on. There's not good price action today. You only have to enter it once, Vib. How much time we got? Yeah, we got 3 minutes. Market's just kind of choppy and boring going up and down. Maybe the edge is, you know, attacking the range today. I don't know. But it's big green candles. Like, it's big green candles that are just ripping up here. And then coming right back down. And then right when you think it's going to do something, it does the other thing. It's just really fake outish. I would just be careful. See, now we're just rallying up all of a sudden big here. Wow. Is this some news? Yikes. What a big move up. There's got to be some catalyst here, I'm assuming here, no? Yeah. Y'all be careful today. It's just a tough day. All right, guys, look, we got 1 minute and 45 seconds. Exclamation point BGT will enter you into the giveaway. So. Let's see if we start to rally up higher now, but it's a big rally. I'm trying to see what this is driven by. I don't see anything really. Pakistani PM says we'll continue mediation role, committed to regional peace and stability. China Foreign Minister says the South China Sea issue should not be a barrier in the relationship between China and ASEAN. Still holding at the 200 exponential, but it's pretty flat and sideways here. All right, I shorted the top of this range here. I'm already up like a decent amount on 3 contracts, but I don't know what I want to do with this. All right, so the giveaway is over. We'll do the giveaway here. I just got to watch this trade. Back and forth day. I think we're going to end green, though. All right, guys. So you guys ready? I'll give you guys 30 more seconds. Exclamation point BGT. And then we're going to do this giveaway. And then we're going to ride out of here. Tomorrow should be a better day for markets. All right, we'll take another piece off here. Lock it in. If you don't need to do it twice, guys. You only need to do it once. All right, so we're still breaking down here, though. I might cut the rest of this right here. All right, we'll do the giveaway in 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the winner is Soapy Soap. Soapy Soap 95, you've won. Are you here, Soapy Soap? Soapy Soap, announce yourself. Show us you're here, bro. Is Soapy Soap here? Let's see. No, I don't think he is. Oh, wait, it's a capital S. Nope, still no Soapy Soap. All right, dude, you got what, how long?
If he's not, that's weird, because I've seen him here before, not just during the contest.
Yeah, I've seen Soapy Soap. He probably, yeah. I mean, look, we'll give him another minute and 20 to show up.
$20 seconds or 20 minutes?
Oh, 20 seconds. A minute and 20
Okay.
seconds. Yeah.
Oh.
Soapy soap. Show yourself here, sir. You're not here, you win nothing. Freaking Sherbirders. Oh, wait, is that Soapy Soap? Are they here? Oh, your thing's lagging. I'm sure it's not you signing out and using a different account to enter the giveaway more than once. I'm sure that's definitely not what it is. But you've won. Hello, Soapy Soap. You're here. You know, you've won. Again, join our Discord, and I'll send you and just say, hey, I'm Soapy Soap. And in the main trading chat room. And I got you. I'll send it to you. There's the Discord link right there. I was delayed by 1 minute. Yeah, but when I add you in the chat, I mean, you weren't in the room watching. So, I'm just saying. At least it wasn't a Sherbert. I can respect it. Good job, Soap. You've won. Congratulations. Again, join our Discord. There's the Discord link in chat. And I'm going to end the stream, guys. I'm going to get out of here before I lose money. I'm actually green on the day, I think. Yeah, we are. We're green.
Awesome.
We took some risks to get there. But we are green. No, I'm just messing with you, Soapy Soap. It's all good. Again, join our Discord unless you're in there already. And then in the main trading chat, send me a picture. I'll DM you and you can send me a picture of your homepage so I make sure it's you. And then I'll send you the code. So congratulations. I'm going to get out. Remember code BGT. Help support your boy here. We do everything free. Remember this face when you go to use discount coupon codes. Remember that face right there. The face of a leader. You know, that's him right there. All right, guys. Hey, love to everybody here. I'll see you guys later. Y'all have a great day.
Good, everybody. Thanks, Steve. Y'all had fun. Thanks for watching.